Hey everybody, welcome back to this, it's this week's edition of Tabletop Tavern. I'd say it's still this week's edition. However, tonight is our season 2 recap. If you'll remember, last weekend we concluded season 2 of the Tabletop Tavern, and we wanted to take some time to sit down with our community and talk to you about the season, talk to the cast about some of their favorite moments, take questions from you guys on things about how the season played out, and I wanted to offer some behind the scenes thoughts on how and why I chose to do certain things, whether something was pre-scripted or if something was built on the fly. And I wanted to give you guys the opportunity, the community, the opportunity to ask us questions about the show. So tonight we're going to start out with that. But first, we have a couple things we want to do. Luna, how are you feeling tonight? Idabrix.
I am feeling good. I went to visit my family for the weekend, which means I got away for a little over a day, and I got to play with my 4-month-old nephew, who is freaking adorable. He has cheeks like out to here, and oh my god, he's just super cute. And got to go swimming in my parents' pool and just relax, and it was really good, and it was very needed. So
good.
And I slept Saturday night, which is good because I was up all night Friday. Literally did not sleep.
Good. Good. Before I'm going to interrupt one thing. I wanted to say something before we got started and I forgot. But I wanted to wish a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you so much for what you do for your kids and raising the next generation of nerds. And happy Father's Day to you all, guys.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Even
Happy
cat dads.
Father's Day.
Even cat dads.
Even cat dad decider.
Thank you.
That goes for cat dads too. So
I got to spend most of my day with my daughter here, and it feels weird calling a cat your daughter.
That's really funny.
She's your fur baby. That's the term.
Oh Jesus!
Actually, I was watching Big Hero 6 earlier, and I don't know if any of you have seen it, but
that's a great movie.
When his power is low and he's sitting there and he's petting the cat, he's like, "Hairy baby," and he's petting the cat. She's my hairy baby. Yeah, that's all she is.
I don't want to know, guys.
I mean, maybe she really is your kid.
Maybe.
I mean, you are hairy,
and yeah, and I have her, so it's got to mean something.
The chat is asking what your daughter's name is.
Oh, it's Ada. That's spelled A-D-A. Ada.
The American Dental Association.
The Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yes, exactly. That's what I named her after.
Always, always, Dave, always.
Always, Dave, always.
I actually named her after a battle AI in Zone of the Enders. So
what's that?
Oh.
What's Zone of the Enders?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic video game that you should check out.
What's the video game?
It's the thing that it's like, okay, so you remember back in your day, like games like Trouble and like Shoots and Ladder,
Here we go.
stuff like that. But it's like on a TV. It's crazy, man.
So you take the box and you put it on top of TV.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put it on your table, idiot?
No, you wouldn't understand. You're too old.
Yeah, okay. Back in my day.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched
cassette
Ready Player One
adapter
over the
for the Vic
weekend,
20.
and I forgot how much I love that.
In the snow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking of things from back in the day.
Guys, I wanted to start out tonight with just a quick thank you, and just I wanted to drop that 10 gift subs in chat. You guys support us all the time, so just a little way to give back. Thank you for being here, being part of the community, and being rad. Decided 12. How are you doing? How was your weekend? What are you thinking about? What's going on with you? I don't care, so let's move on.
It stings.
This is how.
Do I get to talk now, or
I guess I just got poked in the side and said I should let you talk, so I'm gonna let you talk.
Oh, thank you, whoever poked him in the side. You are my hero. No,
that's all the time you get.
No, I had a really nice weekend. Relaxed most of the time, watched some movies. It's hot in here today.
It is warm.
I think you'll hear that from a couple of the cast members.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a warm one in here. So on today's episode of Guess What Decider 12 is Drinking, spoiler alert, it's ice cold water because it is too hot for anything else. But
I literally have ice water right now. So
I pulled a seltzer water out of my fridge. So
I think I'm the only
So
one that heard that.
anybody- For anybody that has a Shaw's grocery store near you, you can get four 1 liter bottles of polar seltzer water for 37 cents
Ooh. Wow.
each. But still,
I have to drive.
Like-
I have to drive a little bit for that, but oh, welcome in, Dice Harents. Guys, welcome in tonight.
Oh, hey.
It's good to see y'all. Thank you
Hey.
for stopping by.
What's up, guys?
We get to interact with the community tonight. This is a nice thing.
I know that's
Yeah,
so
right.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say one other thing. I'm making healthy choices again because I am now at the heaviest I've been, and
What do you mind me asking what the numbers on the scale are?
at 224.
Oh my god.
I'm going to put this in perspective. I want to put this in perspective for you.
Yep.
I am 7 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah, I know.
So
I used to weigh 190 at like towards the tail end of last year. So yeah.
on the prospect of weight, I know all you guys know that I'm a big gym guy, and I've been out of the gym since the whole COVID thing started. I've lost 40 pounds. I feel miserable.
Wow.
Gosh, yeah.
I am absolutely miserable.
For someone with a lot of muscle, that's a huge
Yeah.
advantage.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I've been very
You can't wait.
frustrated because I've been going to try and like I'm at the point where I need to lift up weights now, like on a consistent basis. And none of the stores around me, like Target, Walmart, anything, Dick's Sporting Goods, none of them have weights because everybody's deciding during this
Yeah.
COVID thing that they're going to get in shape, and they're all scumbags from taking my weights from me.
I had 2 dumbbells before this all started, and I managed to scrap pennies together, and I got an Olympic lifting bar,
Mhm.
and I got like crazy excited. And then I went to go buy plates for it.
And they're gone.
Nope. And I'm like, yep, all right, that happened.
Do a lot of reps with just the bar.
Yeah.
So yeah,
right.
Well, the
Keeps
bar
you
is
there all
50.
day.
The bar is 50, right? By itself.
yeah, it's an Olympic weighted
Yeah.
powerlifting bar. And that's all I got now. So I'm like, God damn it. So I got ropes tied to the end of it with 1 gallon jugs of water that
That's
I just
what I've been
slide
doing. The
on.
gallon
and
jugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's it. So a gallon of water, for those that don't know, is 8.8 pounds.
Yep. So Lukai said, lift things at home, do donut arm curls. So Dave's been doing a lot of those. The Cider 12's been doing the donut curls.
Yeah. Oh, that
No,
I mean,
he's been
reminds
doing
me,
the
I
8-ounce curls. That's what he's been
There
doing.
you go. There you go.
I didn't get to finish my story about my my healthy choices.
Okay, so let's hear
So-
it.
Yeah, so I went into the fridge the other day and I was like, it was midday. I was looking for a snack and I saw a can of soda in there, a can of Coke, and I was like, oh, maybe if I just have this can of Coke, that'll be okay. And I looked at it, it's like 140 calories in a can of Coke.
Right.
And then I looked down on the shelf below and I've got beers sitting there. It's only 93 calories in a beer. So I just went for those instead,
That was
So-
a good, healthy choice,
Just
Dave.
That was a healthy
smart life
choice.
choices, dude.
Exactly.
So listen real quick for you guys at home, especially in Decider, if you guys are really looking to lose weight and you still like your drink, every once in a while, no judgment here. It's been proven, you guys know I read a lot of articles and stuff like that, but it's been proven that tequila has a protein in it that makes it harder for your body to absorb the calories, and it's the healthiest alcohol to drink, especially when you're trying to lose weight.
Oh,
However,
I got tequila.
look at him. Look at him. He got so excited.
Your face just lit
Look
up.
up, yeah.
I got tequila. I'm ready.
He's
I'm
like,
ready for this.
he's like, wait a
diet."
minute. But
Straight
not a,
whiskey when I was doing keto. That's
not a margarita, dude. The mixers have tons of sugar. It's got to be straight tequila Decider.
I'm
So-
pretty much out of mixer. That's why I've just been sitting on this tequila. I'm good. I'm ready.
So Kwaman
Shots, man.
said for the soda, Coke Zero, which I actually really enjoyed, the Coke Zero vanilla. However, I found that during my weight loss thing, because I'm like, oh yeah, Coke Zero has no calories. It had, you know what I mean? Coke Zero, the Sunkiss, the 0 calories Sunkiss as well. I found those stopped me dead in the tracks with weight loss. Like I was not gaining weight, but I was not losing weight, and I was eating 1,200 calories a day. Like I was at
holy shit.
I was at a
1200?
800. Yeah, for about 3 months I
That
ate
is a
1,200
crazy
calories.
deficit.
Yeah, so I was at a 800 calorie deficit a day, and already losing. So like, wait, that's not my total overall calories. My total overall calories were 3 grand. That would be if I just wanted to maintain my body weight, right? It was like 2,900 and something. So for every 500 calories you drop, it equates to 1 pound a week, right? So it brought me down to 1900. And then I did a further calorie deficit to get down to 1200 calories, and I adjusted to it. My body adjusted to it. But it was a trip. Dave, I think you should do it. I think you should absolutely do it. You should just go on the beer diet.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Honestly, it's healthier than what I've been eating and drinking.
But so however, I've never known water to have 96 calories in it.
It doesn't, but it doesn't like
No.
like after what's that?
Because you're drinking Mick Ultra, right? Which is essentially water.
Michelob Ultra.
Come on, what you buy? Jeez.
You can't get drunk off of those, can you?
You can when you have 30 of them.
Yeah, but don't you pee it out before?
You say that like you know from experience.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Next thing you know, Decider's going to start drinking White Claws.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I can't drink those. I can't.
We're going full basic, boys.
I don't like seltzer. I hate seltzer, so I can't do it.
Katie Machin says Tabletop Tavern Healthy Wage Party. We could do that. Right? I'd do it.
Oh, yeah?
God damn.
Yeah. Nah, I can't.
I'm in.
I'm telling you, once everything starts settling down and they open up gyms again, you will not see me at home.
And Luca, I just said they say that aspartame is really bad for you, and so like I did some research after the fact, and it changes the chemical makeup of your body. It literally is like almost as bad as sugar for you. Like sugar's the devil. I don't know if people realize how bad sugar is actually for you, but it is actually the devil. So, all right, Jack, how you doing? What's going on with you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, brother. I celebrated Father's Day today alone. I tried getting in touch with my son, which unfortunately didn't happen. But said a little prayer for Pops upstairs with the big man, and looked through some photos of him, and talked to Mom and got some stories out of her about him, which is pretty cool. Found some old photos and some photo albums. Cue Nickelback's "Look at This Photograph."
Son of a bitch. Now that's in my head.
Every time I do it makes me
laugh. Yep. And I played some video games and I relaxed and I had a good time. I had some meatloaf that I made last night and just kind of relaxed and chilled out. It was kind of nice, man. Been getting some new style RP lately, and Mike was nice enough to raid a friend of mine who was doing it not long ago. But I've kind of been stretching my RP legs. I got a little bit into voice acting, and I started playing some Grand Theft Auto RP on some private servers, which is pretty cool. So that's been me lately, and I've been having a ton of fun with it.
Awesome.
So just a little new hobby and some fun stuff, and spending time with Mama Dukes and doing that kind of thing, man. Still grinding away at the Mech Warrior and having a good time. Wishing we could play another adventure tonight, man.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ravenloft, Mike. Come on.
Yeah, the mist rise and everybody goes to Ravenloft.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I've actually. All right, we're gonna move on. Scott.
Hi.
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 Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Is Trumpet making an appearance on this channel? No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I think I got
No,
it.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Hi. There we go.
Hi.
Found them.
Guys, so that was our show.
Chat's getting in on it now too.
Yeah.
There we go.
So how you doing, new Papa? First Father's Day as a father. What do you think?
Yeah, first Father's Day, that was neat. I don't know. I packed up my daughter and went to the beach today. That was a lot of fun.
Nice,
man.
I'll send you a picture.
Oh my God!
Look, if you notice in the background, there's a fucking horse.
I was gonna say, is that somebody on horseback?
We were laying on the beach,
Only
and the
in
horse
Canada.
just like there was this noise, like a minute before this happened. Crystal looks at me and she goes, "Is that a horse?"
You're like, are you
and
drunk?
I was like, no, it was just like some kid making a noise. Like, what are you talking about? And then click clop, like right across our feet. Like, I don't know, it must have been 10 feet away from us. We're like, oh shit. And Crystal
Something
was
like
like,
that
"We told
happened
you
to
it was
me.
a horse." I was like,
Something
no,
like that happened to me. I was in a park. It was like winter time. There was like a decent amount of snow, And I just wanted to go for a walk. I've got my heavy coat on and everything, and you hear clop, 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 clop. And I look, and going through the woods was a horse-drawn carriage, just going through the woods. I was like, what? What? I wasn't expecting that. So weird when you just encounter that randomly, isn't it?
Random horses are pretty trippy.
That was definitely a random encounter.
Random encounter
by Nate.
Who redeemed that
Nate
one?
Nate
I was
redeemed
gonna say,
that
who
one.
redeemed that one? That was Nate's.
That was absolutely Nate Westling.
The
So.
simulation universe is really fucking with my sense of reality these days.
Anything else
Anyway,
going on in your life?
It was a fun day. No, nothing new going on.
Looking tan as fuck, brother.
Yeah, working way too much. There's so much work to do tomorrow. I do not want to do any of it. If anyone wants a job, I'll give you a week worth of work. You just have to get to Nova Scotia.
So about that.
Well, come on up. I can't guarantee you I'll pay you more than your plane ticket. If you can drive, you're all good.
Well, it depends on where you're driving from.
Yeah, well, I mean, from New
You
Jersey,
can crash at my house on the way
There you
because
go.
I'm en route to Nova Scotia for you. So
Joyzy, born and raised, baby.
Joris, in Boston, they do as well. The cops ride around on horses occasionally too. We have a
Same here.
yeah.
there's a city over near where I live right now that has a mounted police unit.
Are they royal?
Oh
No, thankfully they are not.
Oh yeah, we don't put up with
The,
that shit in New England.
Yeah.
And coming out of the bars in Toronto at like 3 a.m. after drinking far too much, and you step out into the street and it's just a sea of people.
And then a giant fucking
RCMP on like Clydesdales come like pushing right through the crowd. They don't give a fuck.
explosion.
You don't know if you get knocked over.
I'm gonna come up there and be
insane.
RCMP. Can I do that? How do I get that job?
Oh god.
I don't know.
You got to learn to say A and sorry.
You have to
No. Cops
apologize
don't.
a fair bit.
Yeah.
You have to be reasonable though. You know.
I have to be assertive but reasonable. Have you met me?
Well, you just apologize
mean-
occasionally, but you don't get. You know.
Have you
can't
met
get
me?
pushed over. Yeah. Well, not in person, but you know.
In Oklahoma,
No.
it is illegal to ride a drunk horse in a parade. I feel like
A drunk horse? Or
There's
ride a horse?
gotta
a
be
reason
a
that law
story
exists.
about that.
yeah. I mean, we all like. So Massachusetts has some really funny blue laws. Like you can still, if you get a government official to sign off it, you can still duel somebody to death on Boston Common.
Yeah, you can.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Mike,
I'm
can
just
we
saying, me
can
and
we
you maybe.
duel with
My-
proper weapons sometime?
Me and my
Like-
friend Rob said we wanted to get a government official to sign off on a duel, so me and Rob could duel with fucking giant salmons. Like,
All right,
Just
all right.
smack each other.
I-
with
Fish
I-
a
slap
shot.
each other.
yeah, like
I
full
got a
size salmons.
formal-
Yeah.
I got a formal request. I want to be there, please. I'll stream it on the channel. I don't care.
Yeah, make
Right?
great
This will be a
content.
thing.
Next PAX, we'll do it.
PAX East 2021, man.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Please.
Ah, yes.
All right. So for me, this was Father's Day weekend. My better half and her son came through for me, and I got this card. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a Batman Father's Day card. It says, "You are a hero to many," and then there's other kind words in there.
That's cool.
And then I got this, so I need to find out what to spend that on. It's a Steam card, so I'm looking for.
Nice.
I'm looking for input on what I should drop this Steam card on.
Did-
So
You pre-order Cyberpunk.
yes,
Okay, that's all my input. You're already
Yep,
good.
that's it.
and
We're done.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
Vampire
say
the
we're done.
and the new Vampire the Masquerade game too. So hey,
Ooh,
let's be
that's a
honest,
good one.
guys. It's probably going to go to what's it called, Tabletop. It's probably going to
Simulator?
go to what do
Fantasy
we
Grounds.
use? Fantasy Grounds content. So I couldn't words for a minute there. So
Wolfsplit says Star Wars Squadrons.
yeah,
that's
that's
looking like
it's gonna be fun.
right.
It looks so pretty, but
EA.
EA.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
I
nervous.
can't do it. I
want,
just
So-
can't. I
want
can't.
it to
Won't
be
do
good.
it to myself.
So is this the first round of microtransactions for it, or?
If you pre-order the game, you can get the title screen from what I hear.
There we go.
Oh!
Do you get the start and continue buttons?
Those are add-ons.
Okay.
Yeah,
DLC.
they're upgrades if you get the
And don't ask how much
Collector
the
pack.
Good edition, right?
don't ask how
Yeah.
much don't ask how much the ships are. Those are expansion packs.
Optimus Subprime Morgan says, "I'm so excited to be completely garbage at another game involving flying."
right.
He flew really
I-
well though. He flew well in Bridge Crew.
Ooh,
I can't even because I guarantee my PC will not be able to handle that game.
Wolfsblood,
I guarantee it.
Wolfsblood said full Otis support, no microtransactions.
I'll
And
believe
it has
when
VR.
I see it.
And it has VR?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. He's going to order it right now.
All right. I can fap to this.
Hold back the click. You can do it. I believe in you. We don't pre-order anymore, folks.
That's true.
Yeah, except for Project Red. They're exempt,
yeah.
But no one else is exempt.
Well, like, so okay, all right. I have three games.
games.
I have 3 games on pre-order right now. Right. I have Cyberpunk 2077. I have the new Baldur's Gate, and I have Vampire the Masquerade. So,
wait, Naughty Dog. Okay, no spoilers. Did they make Last of Us 2? Is that the same company?
I don't know.
That's the company that makes Uncharted and Crash and whatever, right? But
yeah.
Lukai, they haven't formally announced it yet, so shut your mouth. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Luna's better.
Finding sensitive buttons.
Yeah, Lukai brought up Dragon Age, and that is my jam.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the series
for the 8th time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 3
Can we get it on our
our
graphing calculators yet?
So I was looking for a game the other day to play, and I've never given Skyrim an honest go at it. So
oh my god.
So I've got probably like 10 hours into it, maybe like I don't know, like 5 to 10 hours tops. Like
I guess. Did you start as like a I don't know, sword and board warrior, and then 3-4 hours in you became a stealth archer?
No.
Because that's totally
caster.
How that game works.
I'm a I cast in every game I can think of, and that it's possible. I love throwing spells. Love it.
I like it.
Give it time.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
You will
it's funny you mentioned a caster because we happen to have one of those in Tabletop Tavern.
Right.
Look at that, guys. Brought it right around.
The ring around. So I got a question for the Castro kit before we start talking about that stuff. What when you're playing these old school like fantasy style games, what are you immediately drawn to? Like, what do you enjoy playing? You know, what do you guys like immediately want to grab and go with? Like, what's your first very go-to?
It's Magic.
Magic. I feel like I answered this question on the Tales from the Tavern I was on. But
very well may have.
But nobody wants to hear your opinion, so we can move on. I'm sorry. That's my last time I'll be mean to you this minute.
Honestly, for me, it depends on what the game is. I just started a new playthrough of the first Pillars of Exile, and I'm doing what am I doing for that one? A monk. I'm doing a monk for that one. But yeah, it really like I do magic, and when I play Skyrim, I'm usually a rogue in Dragon Age. So it just depends.
I heard Dragon Age was a really bad game.
Ooh, we're gonna fight.
Oh boy!
So,
look at her
You're
face.
Not my friend anymore.
She's gonna cut me. She's gonna cut me.
Oh, good.
Did you guys ever see speed runs of Dragon Age?
No.
Where you can beat it in like under 12 minutes?
Which one though?
I've seen that.
I think it's the first one.
That makes sense.
So
Katie Machen says unfollow.
First town.
Oof,
right.
Oof.
Katie, you and me, we'll take this and go to our own channel. Come on.
We have our own channel with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.
You know what? Forget the blackjack.
Yeah, Katie's coming with me.
So what about you, Mihaly? What do you like generally like drawn to, brother?
Okay, so if I'm playing an MMO with friends, I'll be the healer because no one wants to be the fucking healer, and that immediately makes me valuable. If there's XP share,
right,
I'll be the healer. I'll just chase the tank and buff them.
There you go.
Let everyone just stand back and do something, right?
That was my thought during early days of WoW, because nobody wanted to heal at all. And I'm like,
that's the thing. Like, it's so
I got
necessary.
invited to so many groups because nobody wanted to heal, and I became a really, really, really good healer.
Yeah, you can just stand on the edge of town, and everyone will be like, "Oh my god, healer!"
Yeah,
yeah.
But I don't play as often as my friends, so it was nice to, like, at least if you're running heals and buffs with shared party XP, you won't really fall behind.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, if I log on a few times a week rather than every fucking night like them, like the times that I am on, they can push harder stuff. But otherwise, whatever.
No, I got you.
If I'm doing like in Skyrim, I loaded up with mods. I have like an 80 gig mod folder.
Jesus.
It's really bad. It's an obsession, and it hurts because this is how it always starts. I go on the Nexus and I start downloading mods, and then I spend 4 to 5 hours just mitigating conflicts. Like, okay, so I
Yeah.
load this one, and then when I load this one, it breaks. But if I take this one out, then I can load this one. And then I get tired, and I finally get it to work. But I'm like, okay, now it works. I'll go to bed.
And then you never play it
and then
again.
like a month later, I'll be like, oh yeah, Skyrim, right?
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, I always do like I just start. There's a mod called like a new start or something, and you just start as a villager. It just brings
Okay.
up
That's
the
cool.
UI, and it's just like, you are so and so from, and then you pick a town, and your profession is that, just start seeing a house, and like, you have wife and kids and dog and whatever. So I just like start out as a hunter,
Okay.
just go
Oh.
somewhere, and I grab my little
I
bow
played
and my
that mod.
axe, and I go out and like, bam, we just start hunting deer, and then bring them into town and sell the furs and skins until something happens, and I just go on an adventure.
Oh, Optimus
It's a lot of
actually
fun.
decided to tell me about the other one the other day, the
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine Dragons.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
I've seen
Dragon.
them.
I did.
I've seen them.
I
Yeah.
did mention that.
I think the best mod I ever installed was not for Skyrim. It was for Dragon Age Origins, and it was a mod that lets you dance the Thriller dance in any tavern.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wolfsblood just mentioned the Macho Man dragons, but my favorite was the Macho Man Death Claws in Fallout. That was a mod. You can turn any Death Claw into the Macho Man Randy Savage, and those things would
Oh my
like chase
God.
you down viciously, and they just like bust in like, oh yeah.
Do you
I
throw
got you for 5
do
minutes.
you,
The Macho Man is here.
do you throw Slim Jims at them? Is that how you get them away?
Oh,
or-
oh God.
You use a Slim Jim
It's
like
so
a
great.
sword.
There you go. So for me, I like everybody plays sword and board. Everybody plays like, big great sword or great axe, right? I like to mix it up when I make a character, and generally it's a fighter with like, multifaceted techniques and styles. I think that's really cool. Or I'll play like the sneaky archer. Those are usually my two go-to.
Sneaky archer. I like
I
it.
used to play.
Stealth Archer is always where I end up.
Really?
It just happens. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
P.S.
I have the
I've-
most fun in Skyrim playing Stealth Archer. Yeah.
P.S. I've never played Skyrim.
What's
Oh,
the one
wow.
after Morrowind before Skyrim? Oblivion.
Oblivion, yeah.
I did a full playthrough as an orc who just uses fists. Just like going up to Daedra, just like punching them. It was amazing. But like all of his skills were built so he'd just like knock people out with face punches.
Should
Nice.
I build reroll Mihaly and go towards Stealth Archer?
There you go.
No.
It's
If you're
really
enjoying Magic, look into mods. There's so many great spell casting mods that add like 100 new spells. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Do yourself the service of looking into it.
Okay.
I've never played any of that series at all. And people
It's
always
fun.
look at me and they're like, you need to play Elder Scrolls. And I'm like, I need to do a lot of things, like pay taxes and breathe. I don't think the Constitutes is one of them. Sorry.
If anyone has a spare key for Skyrim, please send it to Jack. Let's just get
Let
that
me
done with
check.
because we
It's
need
like
him
what,
to stream it and
$7
show
right now or
us.
something?
Yeah.
It's
If that's it,
super
like
cheap.
here, just let me find it on the store.
No,
Hold on.
I'm looking. I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, let's see who can
Jack
gift it
opens
to
up
him
Steam.
first.
He's like,
6 copies of Skyrim show up in my inventory. Whoa, okay.
$15.
Elder Scrolls.
$16.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's awesome.
But yeah, no, I've never
nope.
played that. But
All
D&D.
mine that I had have been given out.
D&D.
D&D, I want to do like fancy stuff. Like I said before, everybody plays, the sword and board tank or like, the big axe wielding or sword wielding. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, dude, Gunnar is a axe wielding barbarian. And I'm like, kind of. It's kind of the way I want to start out the character because that's what he was back in the day. And some of you have noticed it. Maybe some of you aren't around long enough to notice it, but he's kind of developing in different directions. He's picking up more of martial prowess off the fighter style. He's picking up a little bit of the cleric influence from Davdithas, and he's tapping into his gods, which is huge. And I've got plans for him, and this is a little bit of a spoiler. I apologize, Mike. I got plans of him to go a little bit of rogue because he hangs out and spends so much time with Idabrix. He started teaching Idabrix how to fight, and now
True.
she's teaching him first. She taught him how to read. Like
Yep.
he didn't know how to read common at all. Didn't know the first thing about writing it, didn't know anything about it. And she's like, we started RPing it a little bit about, the whole lock picking thing, and he's been following around the whole like sneaking stealth thing, and he can track, so he's been kind of helping her with like the whole survival thing.
I'm sorry, a friend sent me a PM and I'm dying. I'm sorry, guys. It's super professional of me.
I'm laughing at chat right now because now we have Weetabix and Ritabrix.
So
I love it. You guys are funny.
But yeah, Gunnar kind of latched on Idabrix, and they're she's like his like little buddy. So.
It's true. It's true.
So this is a good point.
I want a T-shirt that lists out all of the nicknames we've come up with for Idabrix.
Just crossed out as they go.
As they go.
Yeah.
It says like Idabrix with a cross out, and below it says like Yeetabrix, Ritabrix, Weetabix. Like
Yeetabrix. So this is a good point for us to transition to the season and talk about like where we've come and where we started in the season. It's kind of funny because I went to look back, and I know the cast, I tasked them with coming up with favorite points in the season. So tonight, I wanted to give you guys like the community, and I wanted to give the cast a chance to, ask questions about the season. But I'm gonna put some people on the spot here, talking about the season, and I want to get some. First, I want to go through and get 1 point from each cast member on. Let's start with a funny moment. All right, let's start with a funny moment. So I'm on my screen. I'm going to read from left to right. So we're going to start with Jack. What was one funny moment from the season that really stuck out in your mind?
One funny moment that really stuck out with me. There are a couple involving Squee, which I thought was absolutely hysterical because Squee's got a mouth on him like you wouldn't believe, and I love him to death. He's by far one of my favorite PCs. And again, Gunnar's attached himself to this NPC. He thinks he's fucking amazing. Pardon my language. But I have to say my favorite moment has to be when we're approaching the mansion. And we're sneaking up, and they're trying to get into the house, and everyone forgets about the key.
Yeah.
That was mine too.
Gotta be my favorite.
Screwed. Oh well.
Yeah. What do we do now? All right. I guess we're done now. So that by far had to be my by far my favorite right there.
So this is fun because I get to I get to talk about what happened behind the scenes. I was watching you guys formulate this plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
About
you son of a bitch. You knew it wasn't gonna work.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah, go on with that plan. Great idea.
Yeah.
Go for
Use
it.
all your spells before you get in there.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking to myself, like I sometimes I don't have the best poker face, and like you guys are talking about the plan, and I'm like, yeah, burn your spell slots before you walk in that building. You know what I mean? Like horrific.
It's gonna end so badly.
This is the real reason we can't see Mike on Discord. We can't see his camera on Discord. It's so like because his poker face sucks.
It would have been so cool if we pulled it off.
But like, there's so many things that you guys did, like that. You know what I mean? Like you guys came up with a story, and I want to reward you guys for creative play. And I think the community really identifies with seeing you guys run with creative play. However, some things just physically can't happen, even in a fantasy world. You know what I mean? Like in hindsight, you guys got up to the door, you realized you had the key, right? You open the door, you go in, and it was haunted the whole way down to the, where Aldern was. Now, from a back end perspective, Aldern could have been at many places in the house, depending on how you guys approached the building, how much noise you guys made inside, how much you interacted with the haunts that were going on inside the building. But he was able to retreat to his place of power in the house because you guys are the worst stealth party I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life.
I would like to counter that.
You can't counter it because yes, you're good at it, but everybody else offsets you. You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
So stealth is only
like, hey healer, you wait here while we all leave.
Stealth is the lowest common denominator in a party. That's what it is. So Davdithas advertises for you guys everywhere.
Good at something else.
Yeah.
Let's just throw him in the Heward Tyranny haversack from now on. I just have Gunnar carry him.
There we go.
We've got a stealth. We're good.
I like that
Next
plan.
level, I'll take floating disc, and you can just ride it.
There you go.
He'll still make too much noise, so he'll shift and it'll be like shink, shink, shink. All right, so Davdithas, Decider 12. What was give me a funny moment from the season.
Oh boy. I don't think we're funny at all. I think as a crew, we're very dry. I don't remember any funny moments whatsoever. Gosh, I don't know. It's just every single time there's a critical fail, I'm hoping for that dick punch. And just every time it happens, it makes me smile. So
That has been our most common crit fail, right?
No, I don't think it's been the most common. I think the movement speed, some of the other movements, popping a knee, I think is the most common one.
Yeah.
That's all too real.
I think we've seen that a few times.
The dick punch, from my tally, only happened 2 or 3 times to the enemy, but it happened to Gunnar too.
It
what?
happened to Idabrix once, but that was in the first season.
Come to think of it,
we're gonna call that a code 17.
Yeah,
code 17. Code 17. And Gunnar, this is absolutely no offense, but obviously you are like one of the strongest members of the team, and like sometimes you go up to stuff and you're about to just pummel it. It doesn't stand a chance, and then you roll a crit fail. Yeah. And then you take a
and
swing
you choke
at me,
it. Yeah.
And then it's like the moment that happens, I just go,
fuck.
Oh fuck. I meant to do that. But yeah. So that's some of the funniest stuff to me.
Davdithas, I want you to remember this in case we're ever out to the bar and somebody starts messing with us. I'm gonna say code 17. You're gonna know it's gonna come. You know it's
what happens.
Yeah,
you go code 17. You just see me go,
womp. And then I look at them and I say, "Look, he's not afraid that to do himself. You know what is he gonna do to you?
What he's gonna do to you?
He's half movement speed.
4. Wait. 6 rounds.
And at this point, gentlemen across the bar, I'm going to ask you to roll initiative.
Yeah, right.
You pick up a chair test. Everyone's just like, what the fuck is
what is going on?
What happened? Is this at the Tabletop Tavern?
That's how we divert fights. We just hit me with chairs while I punch myself in the dick. I got it. Yeah, that's great.
These guys are crazy. Let's leave.
Yeah.
we can't fight him. He's hurting himself. What happened?
Look at it. He likes it. What is going on?
He's smiling.
Me and Decider got really drunk together, and we ended up at a bar that we probably shouldn't have been at. What was that place called?
Fat. It was like fat somethings, like fat guys or something like that.
And we're like, we belong here. We belong here.
Yeah.
Wings were really cheap.
Wings were cheap.
Like,
you've been there. You know the place. There's one in every city.
In old car diners.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
You know those old car diners? It was like someone took one of those, gutted it, and then didn't clean it, and then we were drinking there.
Oh, okay.
So it was like an old grunge punk's house. You know what I mean? Like, like a what's it called? A squatting spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting night.
Do some fucking meth in the corner.
Yeah.
No big deal.
There's a place like that around me, but usually the whole one side and half the front is usually lined with bikes. And if you walk in, you instantly get the vibe of, I shouldn't be here.
Oh, see, I grew up around bike culture. Those places are like home for me.
Oh no, they anybody that's not them, immediately eyes turn. And especially when the guy behind the counter is wearing a cut and you don't look like everybody else in the room, you get a little nervous.
You know, I used to go out drinking every week, and we would go to a biker bar, and we were probably the only non-bikers there. And you want to know, I know that look you're talking about, but they only gave it to us when we go up to the jukebox and we play What the Fox Say. They'd start looking around like, who did it?
You're lucky
and we
you
just
didn't get
be
code
like
17.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. Some risky days in my life.
Luna, what about you? What was a favorite funny part throughout the season?
I want to say the day that Yachts broke Jack. That was with we were in the room with Aldern.
Oh, right.
And Yachts was writing the note for Jack to take out the shackles. And he said, I just write a note that says shackles, now. And then he draws a stick figure of Aldern with the shackles on, and he passes it to Gunnar, and Jack about died. Oh my god,
I didn't intend for that to be funny, but
I know.
So those are the best parts. Those unintentionally funny. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think that was probably one of my favorite seasons, because I think anytime we can break somebody on the show, like because of something hilarious, I just think that's immediately the best thing ever. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, like, you know, look at Dave. He broke me, and his comment wasn't funny.
No, it really wasn't. Honestly, it really wasn't that funny.
Every once in a while, though, yeah.
Oh man, it's pretty.
You know, I actually got broken one time, but it didn't. It happened before we went live, didn't it?
Which time was that?
I don't remember what it was, but something was going on. I was just cracking up, and it was before the show. Actually, you might have been.
Great story.
It might have been when we were muted. Does anyone remember?
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't remember what it was about.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll never remember.
Let's move on to something actually funny.
Ooh.
Oh,
You said it was going to be the last time before.
Yeah.
That minute.
I thought you were done
It's a different
shitting on
minute.
them.
it's a different minute now. Oh my god.
Yachts. What about you? What's give me a funny moment from the season that really stuck out to you?
I don't know. My gut says knocking at every door before we enter for no fucking reason.
That's my fault.
Polite thing to do.
It just kept happening, and it was like we were stupid about it the first time, but then I think you gave us some shit, maybe like.
No, because I said
indoor, and then we were just like, well, now we have to do it every door we show up to. Go to a shop. Knock, 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 knock.
Yep. Go to the tavern we frequent all the time. Knock, knock, knock.
Well, not anymore.
Or how we somehow got the secret code word with Father Xanthus to be Slim Shady.
Oh my god.
Whose fault is that?
Dumb,
Whose
but
fault
I
is that?
really enjoyed it.
That was Decider's fault.
No, I thought it was.
Got there.
I thought it was Scott's fault. I thought it was Yacht's fault.
It was between me and Yachts. We were both a part of
I
that.
think it might have been both of you.
Yeah. It just.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but that was pretty silly, and I
the real Father Xanthus. We were looking for the real Father Xanthus. You know. So,
please stand up.
I think we actually have a clip of that. I think there's a clip.
We have a problem here.
Yeah,
we probably
that's how it happened right there. That's how somebody said, "Will the real Father Xanthus please stand up?" And then Yachts just said, "We're gonna have a problem here."
I think one of my favorite things that we do though is a lot of times when Mike can't hear us right before we go live, somebody will be like, "All right, let's try to see how many song lyrics we can sneak into the show tonight."
And we'll pick like a random band and we'll just throw it in and we'll just like low key. Although awesome. I gotta be honest, I kind of do it a little monotone and nobody ever catches me doing it. Like everybody just like, what? And nothing.
That's a really good Easter egg there, because I'm not smart and I didn't catch on to that you guys are doing it on purpose. I mean, I know song lyrics get dropped all the time. Yeah.
There's at least one an episode.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's like the Superman of Seinfeld. You know, or the Aliens of South Park.
Yeah, I get you. It's right now.
Yeah, you'll find at least one.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna make a montage now. Doc, that's your next project.
500 hours of content to scroll through painstakingly.
Damn it, another one.
Right.
I used to do a door-to-door sales gig, and when we were having when I was training new guys, and you could tell they were kind of being down.
We lost
Dave, right?
We lost Dave. He quit.
Oh,
Dave.
Quit. Here, let me just lean into my own frame some more. Can I do that?
No, it's not gonna work.
No, here, wait. Which way to go? I gotta go this way.
Oh, he lost internet.
Nope. I gotta go this way. All right,
well, the show's better off without him, so let's continue.
Well, this is
rough.
Well, I was gonna say we used to we'd pick like Britney Spears or Alanis Morissette or whatever and try to fit in, just like what's the name of that movie with the cops?
Super Troopers. Right
Super
now.
Troopers.
Yeah.
Just like that, but we'd see how many pop culture song references we could fit in from a certain band per house.
Mm-hmm.
Just to loosen them up, because if you have a shitty attitude, you're not if you're not enjoying yourself, you're not going to sell anything.
Yeah, if you're Steph, you're
you
not
have to
be
having fun, and people appreciate that if you're loose and friendly rather than nervous and weirded out.
Mm.
But we would do that a lot, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, so Decider internet dropped. It should be up here in a second here, unless he's permanent. Oh,
there he is.
Hey, he's coming back.
Hey, the camera's fixed. Nice.
Decider, is that you,
Yay.
Decider?
Yeah, it was me.
All right.
I don't have to be decider anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
why not?
nobody wants to be that.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry, eh?
So I guess
Sorry.
I should chime in with a favorite funny time. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Did I miss any?
Yeah,
all
we
those
you
murders,
missed
right?
the
That was
you
your
missed the
favorite time?
you missed the plot for the next season. We were talking
That's
about
fine.
that. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you guys didn't get this one, so
We
I was gonna
also
say,
won
we're
the
gonna screw it
lottery
up
while you
anyway.
weren't here, so we decided you didn't get
Oh.
any.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I don't need it. It's fine.
Let's guess Mike's most favorite moment that he thought was funny. Probably when he burned down our town, right?
Probably when he burned down the
was weak.
town. When we forgot
And
about
lightning
having the
strikes
key
again.
to Misgivings.
yeah.
When he got to send a dragon after us and killed Moat.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious.
Probably when Idabrix hit 0 hit points during the fight with Aldern.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I
That
got to
was
be honest.
so
Like,
funny.
I know this is sadistic of me, but Luna, you have no poker face. So every time you got paralyzed, it was literally like.
Oh, I know.
you
I'm
just-
very aware.
And
of
I'm
that.
like, I would try and contain myself and not chuckle, but
Well, and it wasn't. I actually do that deliberately. So
okay, then that works.
I'm very aware of the fact that I make a face when I do it, so I just roll with it.
So the next thing I want to do, I'll talk to you guys about the story. I want to talk about like, what's your thoughts? We're going to go the opposite way. I'm going to do a random this time. We're going to start with Luna, put her on the spot. Let's talk about the story of the season, where you guys were at the beginning of the season, and the frustrations that you guys had towards the middle of the season. And maybe we can just open this up as a general conversation and probably flow better that way. But talk to me about the season, guys. Let me. It was, I've said it before. It was meant to be a frustrating thing, and I think the frustration did come through, and I definitely got the feedback. But it was hard for me as a GM because I was like literally sitting in the back going, I know. And people are like, you got to do this and you got to do this, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because I know the story. You know what I mean? Like, so from your point of view, give me some feedback. Tell me what you guys are thinking throughout the season. Like, it's Yachts. You gotta unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Spoiler
let me
alert.
unmute myself first. I will just, now that we're done this season, rather, and it seems like perhaps we'll be done with Sandpoint. When they all fucking turned on us, I was like, good. Fuck this place.
Yeah, I'm not
Half
gonna
people
lie.
don't want us here. Fuck it. Let's go find adventures
Yeah.
other places. But then I was like, shit, well, I actually can't be over this place yet. Because apparently we're gonna have to stick around here. But when people were questioning us, I was like, if this, like, either way I win. I was like, fight me.
Yeah.
Like, if this roll flops and they all start attacking us, cool, murder hobo. Let's go.
No, well, I mean, think about it.
Like,
So-
fuck this place now.
So I want you to answer one question for me. How many 8-year-olds do you think you could beat up if they all came at you in waves?
Huh. I mean, 8-year-old's not that big. If it was like a young teen, like if there's a
No, just think about it.
Tough.
Think about it as an 8-year-old.
8-year-olds. How many 8-year-olds?
Before you
I'd
got
like
before you got completely gassed out and you had to stop.
I could take
I'm-
a ton. I'm
I'm
a mom.
of two minds because, like, maybe 10 of them would actually pose a threat if they got some like sticks or something. But what if you could take on an infinite amount because, like, the first 3 that you brutalized that bad, the rest of the crowd's just
No.
like, yeah, never
They're
mind.
gonna keep coming. How many do you think? Like 10?
I don't know what's the
I have a very
what's the
valid point after
relevance?
this. You'll
relevance, Your Honor.
yes.
I object.
Give me a number. No, this is a serious question.
Shit, this is gonna come back to haunt me. This is gonna be the clip that gets me canceled. Scott said you beat up 8-year-olds.
New father,
I don't
by
know,
the way.
man.
New
Like,
father
yeah,
down
10 of
there.
them, 10, 20. I don't know. Like,
20, right? We'll say 20 on the outline.
I do
right?
judo. I could trip kids pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've heard it compared in the past that PC character compared to an average NPC is like fighting an 8-year-old. Like that's the disparagement, right? So
Oh wow.
if you think about it, right, there were a couple thousand villagers in the town, right? So if you as an adult could fight 20,
We're fucked. Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna get overrun at a certain point, right? Like so.
And just 100 rounds of 1d1 damage before we get a chance to act.
Right.
And
Exactly.
the whole party's dead. Yeah.
Well, say, you know, I mean, let's just say for giggles, you dropped one in a punch, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's how you punch one, it goes down. You punch one person, it goes down. Punch one person, it goes down. I don't care who you are. You're gonna get gassed after about 5 to 10 minutes of that. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it just, you know. So that's what the way they compare it. They say as a PC, now it's a general guideline because a level 1 NPC and a level 20 NPC, a level 20 NPC could slaughter like a whole town. You know what I mean? But that's what they say as a rule. So when I was thinking about that encounter, I'm thinking about it. Okay, you know, it could go a couple different ways, right? Like, so I'm sitting there. You guys are face to face with a very riled up crowd. They're very impassioned. They're, you know, they care about their town. They care, you know, about what's going on in the town. Some of the clues have pointed at the cider. Some of the clues have pointed at you guys as a party. In a town like this where they had been attacked so much, there's a constant level of mistrust and fear, coupled with the admiration that a lot of people had for your party because you guys had done so much in town. But think about it. What's the fall from grace is that much more when it's somebody you revere, right?
Yeah, I felt that scene was fair.
Yeah.
In the sense that, yeah, they would be frustrated and upset and maybe question our motives. But at the same time, I was like, you ungrateful bastards. Like, if you attack us right now, I'm so done with this place. like, fuck it. I'm going to go have my own town with blackjack and hookers.
All right. I thought...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say Mihai's going to hide behind Davdithas' tower shield and start slinging spells. We're about to go Wild West on this.
Honestly, when you were saying how long we could, you know, fight against them, I did the math. I was like, all right, well, how long would it be until I got fatigued? And then at that point, my AC might be able to drop to a point where they could hit me. So I can go about 14,000 rounds at them. So after that, I think I'd be gassed.
You know what? Let's play right now and find out.
Let's find out.
Let's do the off-canon
team
fight Sandpoint episode.
We could do that. I'll set that up. You guys could evil party Sandpoint?
NPCs.
No.
You guys can, oh, that'd be so fun. That would be so fun.
That would be a hilarious like offshoot one shot.
So I'd like to one funny point for me, and I'm such a sick individual, and it just clicked in my head was when I killed Squee. You know what I mean? Like to see the look on you guys. Like I knew it was coming. Like I knew like I wanted to do it at some point. A lot of the plot points I think of are like the what are they called? The cliffhangers. I come up with a lot of different concepts, and I started thinking about it 45 minutes before, we're going to end, and I try to, slot something in there. But I thought about it. I'm like, oh, what can I do to rile them up? What can I do to light a fire? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do? What's one like a seriously big thing that we can do to ignite a chaotic egg here? You guys saw it. You guys were all up in arms. Chat was up in arms. You know what I mean? Like, it was just seeing everybody's reaction for a fictional NPC, but like there's so much love associated. People are so committed to this game that and people love that NPC. So it became a thing. So that was funny for me. Haha, I'm a jerk.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
All right. All right, so go into the story. So, talk to me about the story, guys. What did you think about the story during the season?
So personally, I thought the story was like I played Gunnar. It was not that bright, and finally hitting level 4, I finally got that average level 10 intelligence, so that I could play him a little smarter than what he was. He's always been a little wiser than normal, but he was, kind of shy. But the story, as a player who doesn't deal with a lot of intrigue, was set up, and trying to play the character that was involved in all this was, I want to say frustrating, but at the same time, it was interesting and fun, because I would pick up on little things, and I'd sit there, and I believe I talked to Yotts a couple times after the show, and I was like, I noticed this, but I can't say anything. And he's like, yeah, dude, I got you. And it was just like, there was a couple key moments that I thought I had something, which obviously at the end of the day wasn't anything, but it was different, and it was not the typical adventure that I was used to, and it was really kind of cool. The intrigue and the confusion and the twists and turns were really, really interesting.
There's a lot of misdirection.
Yeah.
there is, there's a lot of misdirection, and it's funny for me to watch you guys latch on to something like there's a meme that always goes around, like, you guys walk into Wind, you see, it describes like a necromancer with skulls floating, you know what I mean, in the corner, and then there's is there anybody else in the inn? And they're like, yeah, there's a orc or a goblin sitting in the corner. His name's Grog. And the party's like, I want to talk to Grog. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny to watch, like, what I think you guys are going to do and what you guys actually do at that point. So,
how frustrating has it been for you when we have avoided an obvious clue and gone off the rails? Like, give us an example of a time where you were like, just face palming because you were like, oh, I'm sure they'll do this. I'm sure they'll go talk to the necromancer in the corner, and they're like, no, goblin.
You guys burned the undead, and you guys burned the undead that you needed for the Heron quest in the basement. You guys burned them again. You guys disregarded the paladin shield chips. You like that complete Heron quest it's done. It's done. I've end-dated it because nobody's until like mid-season or 2/3 of the way into the season, everybody's like, oh yeah, we had to get, oh wait, oh yeah,
right.
For the most part, it doesn't matter to me if you guys are progressing in the story or not. Some of the stuff that like I think is going to be completely too obvious is you guys never pick up on, or vice versa. Something like, that I think is going to be super hard for you guys to figure out. You guys latch onto like super quick. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard because when you're playing a module like this, right? You can't write it to the personality of everybody playing it, right? Because it's a mass marketed module, and it's up to the DM to add that personal twist on it. And a lot of the stuff I did, but it's really fun for me to see, and I've said this, and I'm going to say it again and again throughout my DM and career. It's really funny to see how I plan something, or how the module plans something, or somebody, we put it together, and then you guys, just go the complete opposite way. And I'm trying to think of a couple, like that whole quest thing was like one, let's see. Madame Blavatsky went kind of south, and I'm trying to remember what actually specific.
It was brutal. I was like upset.
I remember. So I remember exactly when it went south. And the sad part is, I really liked the NPC, and I was hoping to use it to help progress Gunnar's character a little bit because of what she saw in his background and the amount of depth and flavor you put in for me. I was like, I love this NPC. I'm gonna go back and see her again. So we get one of the heads that was wearing the masks. And I had gone to see her, and she wasn't there. And we come back, and I gave Mihaly and Davdithas very specific instructions of what to ask. And they totally went off the rails and forgot what Gunnar asked.
We were freeballing.
Yeah, they totally like free ranged it. And they walked up to her and they handed her the head. And the payment in the whole 9 yards, and everything went Dodge City south. Like, it was just like, nope. And her eyes burnt out, and she was like, get out, you're done. And I was like, but character development, please. And I was like, all right. They're idiots. Maybe Gunnar can fix this. Maybe. And I roll up, and Gunnar's like, after hearing the story about what happened to her, Gunnar's like super cordial and super respectful, like he has been with her, because she's, a quote unquote a seer from like his homeland, and he's hoping that he can like do something, he can get involved, he can make it right. And one thing leads to another, and it's just like, nope, it's done, finished, game over, GG's. And I'm like, oh god damn. Well, all right, burn that bridge.
So, yeah, we ruined that one.
Can I be honest with you guys? I ad-libbed that whole thing. Like, during that thing, like, all those rhymes and stuff, like, came up with as I went.
Good for you.
Like, I saw an opportunity for a point, you know what I mean? Like, there was some framework that I had laid there, but, like, a lot of that, like, the whole, part where, like, you guys went back and she did the reading and stuff like that. Like, some of the initial readings that she did for you guys, I wrote ahead of time because I knew with the mushroom, like that whole part. But the second time you guys went back, like all that was ad-libbed. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun and then to see your reactions when she, like, you know, everything went down. It was really interesting for me. So, but as the seasons progress, I personally feel I'm getting better at adapting to the situations and adding customized content and using the module as a framework rather than like verbatim. And for me, that's a lot of fun because we get to put more personal as, we get to put our cast influence into it. So, Decider.
Yeah.
Plot points. What plot points frustrated you this season?
Oh boy. Where to begin? Probably at the beginning of the season. No, the whole murder mystery and everything obviously was very, very confusing because I feel like we just weren't getting the clues to like get anywhere with it. And I know obviously that was like the intention. It was supposed to cause confusion. It was supposed to just keep us guessing and make us wondering. But it's really frustrating when you feel like you can do nothing to actually like get the information you need.
Right.
So yeah, that was the hardest part for me.
You guys rolled bad a lot of the time too. Like,
yeah.
So I guess a question for all of you is do things make sense now in hindsight, or is it still like, do you have questions how everything worked together, like specific points, but does it make sense to you?
I mean, I think there's still some some things are starting to come together in my head. Like in my mind, the murders were part of the marks that he had to kill, and that part of Aldern had to kill.
Yep.
But obviously we don't know exactly why he had to kill those specific people.
Right.
I mean, we know where to go to get the answers. So I mean, that some of that's good. We don't have the answers for it yet, but it's starting to come together.
Right. A lot of those murders were randomized, though.
Yeah.
There is supposed to, so the module has you build a sense of fear in the town, unease and unrest, and along with that suspicion, you know what I mean? Like they're supposed to raise the suspicion about the party, so some of the people that died weren't like centrally associated with main storyline, but you guys had some dealings with some of them, you know what I mean? Either peripherally or so it's loose enough to tie you guys into it, but not enough to break one of the main storyline, you know what I mean? So it's like this fine tightrope you got to walk when you do something like this, because you got to look down, you got to look forward and say, okay, well, which NPCs are expendable? Which, you know what I mean? Like which, what have the party? Which NPCs have the parties interacted and who's expendable at this point? You know what I mean? So it was really fun to do. And then like the mask thing I came up with on the fly, the whole Father's anti-mask thing I came up with on the fly, and I thought that was a really good touch because we had discussion on Tales from the Tavern when you can take something that you guys through meta knowledge or your character's knowledge, you can trust it, whether that's a rule or how something works, and then you can break that. It causes that that confusion. You guys were at that point. You guys were second guessing everybody who you talked to, right? So and it was kind of an inside joke for me because behind the scenes, Aldern was wearing that, the Ring of Gentle Repose and a mask to cover his decay. He's interacting with you guys. He's playing the fool. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: he wasn't playing the fool. That personality was still inside of him. That educated idiot, I guess, is the way to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why was he more swole?
Because his body had so like it's a touch that I did.
There was a reason.
Yeah. So I did that because for two reasons. So he could come back and he could brag to Gunnar about putting in the training. But in reality, so that's the Aldern personality, right? That is like,
yep.
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna
He still had the shitty cane sword. And...
Shitty, cane sword. He didn't really put in any work into it. You know what I mean? Like you can put on some muscle without having, without changing your life, your whole life. You know what I mean? Like picking up a weapon, you know what I mean? And like learning a weapon to the best of its ability, mastering a weapon, I guess is what I should say. You can put on some weight, but in reality, he had been corrupted and his body had rotted and bloated. So
yeah.
Okay.
But that's what the Ring of Gentle Repose, what that does is it keeps your body from decaying any further. And the mask was causing the illusion so that he appeared, normal. You guys never did detect.
When did you decide to add that hat in?
The what?
The hat.
So
was that like a last minute thing that you just thought was clever? We've been planning that for a little bit.
The hat thing at the is actually part of the storyline. But I thought it made sense. Yeah. I thought it made sense. But the way I came up with the masks and so Aldern is not supposed to interact with you guys prior to you guys getting into the, all the thing, according to the module. But I wanted to dangle him in front of you because mid-season people had expressed frustration to me, and I wanted to dangle him as like something that maybe would jog you guys, like something about him. I put a couple things in that I thought would jog your memory, but nobody ever detected magic on him. Nobody ever, you know what I mean? Did I detect evil around him? Nothing like that. No sense motive. There might have been a sense motive, but it was like a low roll. And at that point, he's the VGEG for the season. So it was like, oh, that's right. We got to do that, Luna. We got to do that in a couple minutes.
Yep.
But for me, it was fun to add that. But I wanted to also mention that the moment. So I had thought about the scene where Gunnar is down in the what's it called, the Catacombs of Wrath, right? In guarding the pool when you guys were purifying the pool. I wanted to originally, Luna, do you remember what poll I put up right around that time?
Oh.
I put up a poll that said, have you ever used mimics in your campaign?
Oh, right.
Right. And there was a lot of really strong opinions because originally I was going to go the route of a mimic coming down to us all, Gunnar. But then I thought it would be, this could tie in so much better if it had the masks, because they're gonna question Father Xantis, you know what I mean, who's one of the strongest allies in town. But it's also going to cause a lot of confusion everywhere because they're going to suspect everybody at this point because anybody could be wearing a mask, right? And I thought I could tie it really well in with the whole Aldern thing. So I kind of did that. I did it for that reason, right? I originally thought mimic, and I'm like, nah, that's too basic. You know what I mean? Like that's like, I mean, everybody expects a mimic at some point, right? But using these masks that I researched, I actually had pinged Koth and we had a conversation about it. I'm like, what do you think the best way to do that is? And he gave me a couple of things, but I found that mask because the mask is not magical in nature, but it has a magical effect. So if you guys did a detect magic on it, it wouldn't show as magic, but it still had the effect of changing the appearance, so I thought that was
That's
super
okay.
cool.
No one in our party uses detect magic.
I am.
No.
Yeah. And Mihaly, how about you walking around through the house at the end trying to detect magic and everything was glowing?
That was frustrating. Now that we're done with that, I mean, I don't assume we'll return there in the near future, and if we do, don't worry about it. But was it all illusionary in nature? Like, what was the deal? Just everything was magic.
It was a phylactery.
Was there a reason for that I could have got to the bottom of, or was it just it is what it is?
So let's talk about misgivings, right? You guys are there and you're going through and all these haunts. So what was happening was all these different haunts. They give you almost every room has a haunt, or every couple of rooms has a haunt, and there's ones that are based on different things like wrath, greed, like several different things. And what they say is ahead of time go in. And because I have no idea how you guys are going to walk through the rooms. I have no idea how you guys which rooms are going to get to, which rooms you're not going to get to, any of that, right? So it's like they say go ahead and most of the hauntings affect that one personality type. Let's just say for Wrath, for example, right? So all the ones that are labeled Wrath, I associated with one person. I think in my head, which character does that fit the boat? You know, the best, right? So as you guys are walking through, that's why some hit Gunnar, some hit Davdithas, some hit Yotts, and some only hit Idabrix. And then there was a couple that were anybody who had potentially entered the room. The one that I could think of was right towards the end when you guys walked in the room and the spores exploded. Like that was anybody who was in the room. You just happened to be in there by yourself at the time. You know what I mean? Like, but Idabrix, let's talk about the knowledge you got from the visions in there.
Yeah.
What was absolutely confirmed in your mind during that?
So we absolutely knew that we were dealing with a lich.
Right.
We absolutely knew that it was, or I'm pretty sure we absolutely knew that it was Aldern was a descendant of the person who became the lich.
Okay. So what is Misgivings? Misgivings is the traditional house of the Aldern family, right?
Yeah, the Foxglove Manor,
right? Right.
Foxglove
Yep.
Manor. Yeah.
Right. All right. So
his great grandpappy messed around with some shitty experiments.
Yep. All right.
Was it his?
Whoa, wait. I'm getting to a point.
To the family.
No. I'm getting to a point here. I'm getting, so you guys looked and you saw the stained glass windows with all the things that, so it was hinting about the lich as well. All right. So the stained glass windows, if anybody had done a knowledge arcane or knowledge, spellcraft on those, you guys would have realized that were all symbols associated with becoming a lich, right? So when
spellcasters.
So I'm gonna guys. So meta knowledge. Let's talk meta knowledge here about liches. What do liches require for their undead existence?
Phylacteries.
A phylactery.
Okay. So what was the house?
Shit! The phylactery was the house.
Just saying. So that's why everywhere you looked, Mihaly, everything was it was magic everywhere because you were literally inside a phylactery.
I don't even know what that is, so I can't meta knowledge it anymore. But I think I understand given the context.
So when a powerful spellcaster decides that they want to cheat death and become a lich is an undead spellcaster, right? Who has decided that they're going to forgo life. They crave magical knowledge more than they crave, living and having an existence like that. So they craft a phylactery, which houses it's like a Horcrux from Harry Potter. It houses a piece of their soul, and if they get destroyed, they return to their phylactery and get reborn.
So you take a mortgage on a substantial asset to elongate your life.
Indefinitely.
Okay, that sounds great.
Indefinitely.
Can Mihaly do that later on?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Evil party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you guys, and then you guys is now in the module. This is specific. They write specific. It's kind of funny for me because you guys are like burn to the ground, burn to the ground, burn into the ground. You guys burn everything to the ground, right? Burn your dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
The house was specifically resistant to being burned down. And the house is specific. It says it in the book too. It says it's specific. Here's the rules for what happens if they try to burn down the house. So the rules in the book or the general guidelines it says is all of a sudden, all the haunts, most of the haunts, because some of them, so most of the haunts would converge on you guys and attack, right? However, you guys were outside. You tried to burn the house from the outside, right? So that's why I did it like the horror movie. Like they all appear in the windows, and they look at you menacingly, and then the fire goes out. So
we could have taken them. It's fine.
You could have.
I have the end there.
I have complete faith in you, Davdithas, your holy ability.
I think at the end of that, because that's when we tried to burn it down after we were all exhausted and out of spells, and that would have been an interesting conflict.
If you were inside, oh god,
yeah,
that would have been interesting. Yeah. But a lot of the haunts that they came up with were like really cool. It was like really cool to execute a different level of with like Gunnar swinging around the room. You know what I mean? Idabrix, like, or was it who was like my baby and tried to run out? Idabrix, right? Yeah.
No, that was Davdithas.
Davdithas. Yeah.
That was my baby.
Yeah. But like that's like, so I've been playing D&D for 30 plus years, and it's like, seeing different things like that and being able to run with it as a DM and have fun with that. I messed up the mechanics of the first one. You should have had a will save on that, but it played out. You know what I mean? You didn't die. But it's really fun for me to expand into different mechanics and take different mechanics into play. And I like that haunted house was like a lot of fun for me as a DM to play, because I'm like, I have the map open and you guys are walking through. I have the DM map on the side and I have a visual representation where all the haunts are. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna walk right into this. Oh, because I hear you guys talking. You're like, well, I'm thinking about going north, and I'm like, do it now. Because I want to see, like, there's things you didn't encounter there, but there was definitely ones that you did encounter that I'm like, I want to see how this plays out. Like, the dancing one was really fun for me. I'll be honest with you. Like, you're all of a sudden you become enraptured. The piano starts playing, and then you start dancing with this beautiful woman. And then, like, you think we've all seen like those horror movies, right? Like, with it just slowly but surely it becomes like a twisted thing, right? Like, it starts off beautiful, it becomes twisted thing. That for me was really fun to play with, and I really enjoyed that. So, being able to do like different things like that is just it was really cool for me. And watching you guys struggle with it was even more fun. You guys thought you were gonna die though.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement.
Davdithas, I have a question for you.
Okay.
All right. So in the last fight, you discovered the thing about the channeling, right?
Yeah.
And so what made you decide to try to hurt the undead rather than heal your team?
Because in that current situation,
I thought that was a really interesting choice.
So it's I've played support characters a lot in lots of other games and stuff like that, and obviously the main role is to heal the team and keep the team up. I've made this decision in the past, and it's saved a lot of teams and prevented a lot of wipes, where at some point you say, we're so overwhelmed that no matter how much healing I do, the damage is just going to keep coming in. I have to
it's gonna outpace the healing.
The healing. I have to switch the focus to stopping the damage that's coming in instead of trying to mitigate the damage that's coming in.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Offense, yeah, absolutely.
So I switched to, I decided to attack instead of heal up, even though we were in bad shape, because I didn't think a heal was going to help us too much.
Well, at that point, like if you hit a max roll and like, killed every ghoul within range, that'd be like, 8 or 10 of them done.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we'd be down to one target. No big deal.
Exactly. And then we'd survive and get out of there.
Yeah.
Right. So that was my thought process.
Yeah. So that was really interesting for me, because I literally cocked my head when you did it. I'm like, it's interesting.
Right.
And it was something I had a question about. You know what I mean? Me personally, in that situation, I would have healed. And like, it's hard to say how it would have worked out either way, but like this way it did work out for you. You know what I mean?
As far as just straight up maximizing numbers, like I was already full health, so he had the chance to heal 3 people or 8 valid targets for damage.
That leads me to another question for you.
The numbers would have been better to hit damage.
Yeah. So from a mechanics perspective, I understand you're a lot newer than the people here. But if you're at full hit points, why don't you take a step back, put yourself in a better position, take the hit, just take the hit. That was curious for me.
Yeah, I didn't understand how defensive casting worked until after that episode.
Okay.
For everyone in the community who is wondering why I did the things that I did, I thought that I had to roll a 20 with no or a 19 out of 20 with no bonus. So I was like, well, the odds are so slim.
Yeah.
What's the point? 5% chance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
After the show, it was explained that I would have been rolling with a +9, I believe. In which case, it's just an average or better roll would have done it.
Right.
And
you had the bonuses,
and I had bonuses. I had a +3 on my sheet at the time.
Yeah.
So I definitely would have been able to at least make myself invisible, leave the room, come back, and then start AoEing. But I didn't realize that until after we ended. But also my head was really thrown off that night because I had accidentally put myself in a very precarious situation and didn't realize until I'd already committed to the position. I thought, oh, here we go. Well, I'll help a flank, so I'm actually useful right now. But then once I got into combat, I was like, oh, and now the room's blocked off. So
Can I ask you a quick question?
yeah, please.
What have I told you from the very beginning?
You'll die if you fuck up.
What? No.
Is that what we're talking about?
No.
It's on the same lines.
Should a caster be in hand-to-hand combat with anybody at any time?
Not a chance.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought maybe I forgot to tell you that at some point.
Good talk.
No.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey, Mike,
Given
what's that thing about casters in melee?
You should go give the enemy a hug.
I knew I
given the situation where I could do no damage myself, however, offer bonus damage to Luna, I thought it was the smartest thing to do before there was any threat of any other targets. I thought it was just the four of us versus one guy, and we had to down him quickly.
If you magic missile
So I
him,
thought,
you probably would
I'm
have.
tapped on spells. I'll just stand there, and that will give her a bonus damage roll. And that's the best thing I could do to maximize our output as a party.
Okay, cool.
Well, if I take a hit, I can probably like face
soak
tank
a couple.
one.
Yeah.
There's some logic. Okay.
Yeah.
But that was because it was only one target. I couldn't AoE because you guys were all there. I couldn't hit him with any of my low-level spells to like daze him or anything like that. I tried color spray. It didn't work on the first round of ghouls.
Color spray has pretty much for you gone past its prime.
Yeah, I may have outgrown it. I couldn't glitter dust him because that would have hit all of you guys as well. So I could maybe blind him, but blind you guys as well. And I thought, well, if he's a big bad evil guy, perhaps his save is better. So I just end up blinding you guys and get you all killed. Couldn't grease because you guys were all there. I was like, well, only thing to do is to put myself in a position where I can help the party. That ended up being a really bad decision in retrospect.
I feel like you guys forget about items on your character sheet too.
Oh yeah.
It's like somebody has a wand of cure light wounds. So I'm trying to remember.
Me. I just remembered that.
Said the odds.
When you literally were saying you forget about your character sheet, and I just thought about that. I was like, I have a wand of cure light wounds with like 23 charges on it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
23 charges.
So I got something to say about that actually. I know Yachts is new, Dave is pretty new, and Luna. I am used to so much tabletop. But I'm used to pen and paper and pencil and paper and actual dice sitting in front of me. And when I do my character sheets, I use a custom one that I made in like an Excel spreadsheet format and this thing, the other thing. And I've got like a slot for like all of my important like equipment that I could use in combat with like a brief description, like on the bottom right underneath, like, you know, the massive skill list that nobody ever uses. So it usually sits right there and I can see it like that. The problem with Fantasy Grounds is you've got to flip through tabs to see everything that you need to see. And when I'm in the middle of combat and I'm doing stuff, I'm not flipping through to see what else I can see. I've got a couple key hotbar items or actions and movements that I can use as a fighter on the top of my head, and I totally forget about everything else. And when you add in spells to all that as like, you know, as Decider, as a cleric with everything else, it's not so much that we don't want to use them or anything like that. It's that it's hard to remember because, like, you know, going through and looking through everything that's going on and it not being in front of my face or not being able to like take notes and throw it up.
But there's a note. There's a note thing built right into the game.
I still don't know how to use it. Every time I've tried to open it.
Okay, well, we got to go through that.
No.
I love the note section.
We've tried to use this notepad 3 times, and every time I've tried to use it, I don't know if you guys remember, it's broken for me. I can't type in it.
Oh.
Weird.
I can't use it at all. So I've got, for those that don't know, I know a couple of you know, I've got a handy dandy notepad that I write down cues and notes and stuff and really cool recaps and little special items and stuff that I'm picking up, the things that I think might be important, and that's it.
Yeah, it looks kind of like my notebook, which is, this is where
Yeah.
I write down all the recaps and like these are all my +1s up here.
Yep.
This one had a ton of notes up at the top and like things that I wanted to make sure I remembered I had. Yeah. So
All right, guys, I think it's good
double
time
those.
to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to answer some community questions and we'll continue. So we'll see you guys. It is now 9:26 p.m. Let's come back at like by 9:33. All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes, and we'll continue our discussion about season 2 of Tabletop Tavern. Bye, guys. All right, guys. So we're coming back from that break. Thank you for your patience. We have a couple things we have to do. First thing I have to do is unmute the cast so they can talk and say hi to people. The second thing I need to do is we need the cast unmuted for that so that we can sing happy birthday to somebody.
Yes.
Luna, I'm going to let you lead this one for us.
Yes. So the other day, a good friend of the channel and someone who's been on Tales from the Tavern with me twice, Matt from Verbal Components podcast, celebrated a birthday the other day, and so as such, we have to sing to him because it's required by law in 48 out of 50 states. So,
I thought there were 57 states.
well, it's required by law in 48 of them anyway.
Okay.
So.
I'll let you lead.
All right. Everybody ready?
Ready.
1, 2,
Happy
3.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear
Matt.
Happy birthday
To
to you.
And many more.
You're welcome. Your birthday funeral, George.
Yep, there's your birthday funeral dirge.
All right, guys. So the other thing we're gonna do is we haven't decided how long we're gonna run. We're gonna talk for at least a half hour longer tonight. But I think in the honor of second season, we're gonna do a quick giveaway.
I like giveaways.
You like giveaways?
I do. I like giving stuff away.
All right, so we're gonna start a giveaway right now, and this is gonna be for our spell tracker from our new friends over at Arcane Spectacles. So that is currently open and going. So if you would like a chance to win, you can obviously enter. ! Enter.
I'm gonna enter just so I don't win it.
Wolfsblood, you are not allowed to enter.
If nobody wants to, that's fine too. Not entering. All right, so we have a couple questions from the audience, and let's start with verbal components. I'm late, so I'm sorry if this has been asked, but what was the hardest choice that had to be made in season 2? Let's start with the Cider 12.
Hardest choice. I think, I mean, for me, it was when during the whole murder mystery and us not figuring out what was going on, whether or not to acknowledge the possibility that I could somehow be tied into it. Because I knew that as soon as I did acknowledge that, that could put a lot of focus on me and maybe put me in a bad light. So there was some decision making on my part mentally on whether or not to say something, because I wasn't sure how that would end me up, and it almost ended me up in shackles, but it didn't quite. So, but yeah, I guess that's where I'll go with that.
Idabrix.
Let's see. I mean, there are probably quite a few. I you know, it's funny because I saw this question come up in chat and I've been trying to think of something since then, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that Idabrix has gone through in season 2 has been a bit of a challenging decision, because she had to deal with the fallout of Heron being kidnapped and then coming back with no hands, and that relationship kind of blowing up for her, and Now he's gone, so everything was sort of like, I don't know, after that, and then, you know, tagging along with the group and being like, I don't know, everything that she did after the fact. I think for her it was more less the decisions and more like the harder parts were more the like the fallout from what was happening. Like, oh crap, we needed those gassed femurs, or oh crap, we needed a piece of moat shield, but like always realizing that on a Wednesday night and not on a Sunday night. So um but yeah, I can't think of a single like a decision that was really hard. I think probably the hardest thing that she had to go through was when she opened up a bit about her backstory to Gunnar. That was a challenge for her.
What about the dragon egg?
I mean, she likes to live, so she didn't want to have to fight a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that was a challenge because she really wanted that dragon egg, man. She was like, I am going to take this and I'm going to raise a dragon and I'm going to learn how to ride it. And she has every intention of coming back for that dragon egg someday.
I was really excited. I thought that was going to be a huge twist. Like, I don't know, somehow our party would have a pet dragon. I was a bit naive that I'd let you that you'd let us get away with that, I guess. But I was like, holy shit, this could be such a game changer.
All right. What about let's Scott, YottsTwitch.
Yep, easy one. I'm sure you all know what I'm gonna say. The dragon fight. Maybe didn't need to be a dragon. You know what? If you don't mind digging into that a little bit, how would that have gone had I not acted? Would we have fought anyway?
If you guys had not, no, this is perfectly fine. I've been prepared to talk about this one, so
yeah, it's an
this is a whole interaction I made up for myself. I made up myself. I was actually particularly proud of this one. Moat is a character created by Orcus86, a longtime member of our community. Solid dude. He made up the concept of Moat. I had a lot of fun with Moat, but in my eyes, a paladin making the ultimate sacrifice based on honor is how I wanted to see it play out, right? And if you guys had not interfered, the dragon would not have attacked you. Just hands down. You guys didn't get the full story, but you got most of the story. It was going to be so the other part of that, it was going to be a tie-in. It was if you guys had not interfered, he would have led you directly to Aldern and sent you that way. And that would have been based on dealings at Aldern and let's see, how can I say this without... It would have been based on dealings that Aldern and the people that have been mentioned to you recently have had with the Black Dragon. So that's how that would have played out if you guys hadn't interfered.
Good job, Yachts.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. I was convinced, and I think by extension, Mihaly was convinced that, like, oh shit, things are getting real and the deal's been broken, kind of thing. Obviously, the thing that Moat was sacrificing himself to get back was his egg. And when he dropped the egg with the intention of breaking it, it seemed, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna like smash his egg and then he's gonna kill Moat. We have to help our friend.
So this is where
no longer a fair fight. This guy's a trickster. Let's get him.
So this is where I'm gonna say this. I like how this played out because Mihaly didn't rely on meta knowledge to guide him in this situation.
I don't have any.
Exactly. A dragon egg.
That's actually one of the things I really like about playing with you is that you don't have the meta knowledge, and so it makes everything very authentic.
So Yachts, you don't know this, but a dragon egg is very tough. It's not like an egg. So
I was like, that's like a bird egg or something. It's falling like, I don't know, 300 feet or something. So, like, holy shit.
So if you think, guys, it was really cool how that played out because, you know, Yachts' logic was that, oh, he broke his deal. but that was based on the fact that he didn't know a dragon eggs could survive that fall. You know what I mean? It was so that's, you know, when you think about it like that, it's really cool. You know,
I was just like, classic devious trickster. Fuck this guy. Like, we cannot let him survive this. We have to help our friend.
I made
you know.
so Moat was lawful good and the dragon was lawful evil. So he would have stuck to his deal. Hindsight.
Oof.
Yep.
Oh well, fuck him anyway. If Moat was gonna die, we might as well have, you know, made the best.
See, Moat.
Of
So that's the
tragedy.
thing. Moat didn't necessarily. All right. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Moat
well, obviously, you just told me.
Moat didn't necessarily have to die there.
Yeah.
He chose to die based on his character and based on exactly what his character would do. He was a pinnacle of honor. His deity. He did what was required for his own code of honor and for his deity to stay true to himself.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
Obviously, the biggest decision for me was whether to attack or not. I was. I don't know. I was really resolute in my decision in the moment. And as soon as I did, I looked up at the cameras in Discord, and there were
Everyone's
a lot
like,
of like, "Oh, it's on," kind of moment. Like, because I was very confident. I was like, "Okay, everyone has my back. It's my turn on initiative. This is our chance to strike. Let's go." Like, we're gonna kick this off because I thought, hey, it's happening anyway.
So here's one thing, right? And like, it was a multi-layered encounter, right? And it had been set up, and you know, I guess there's no perfect. There's no way in this scenario you could have came out perfect, but you could have come out with it with Moat alive. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, fuck. Like, if it was me and from the other side of the thing, once Moat and the dragon's business has done, and then you guys' business with the dragon was done, what's to say you from ridding an evil from the world? You had concluded your business. That's a lawful thing to do. The pack stops. I mean, the dragon might have attacked you at that point. Depends on your attitude, you know?
Well, we can't rely on that with Mihaly around.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Absolutely true.
Wild gun.
It's absolutely true. Gunnar, what about you? Is there
Can you go through the question one more time?
Yeah, what was the hardest choice you had to make in season 2?
Hardest choice I had to make in season 2. Gee, that's hard. In character, Gunnar takes everything pretty lighthearted, and the mission is the mission is the mission. And the betterment of the greater good is what Gunnar's always looking for. You know what I mean? That's kind of his driving force behind it all.
Okay.
So as far as decisions and what he thought or what he wanted to do and what he didn't want to do, I'm thinking, and it sounds really silly, like a lot of people are probably going to look at me and go, what? But the funeral pyre. He'd originally had one idea for the city, and he wanted to share his culture with everyone because, you know, we were the heroes of Sandpoint. And everybody really liked Gunnar and what he was bringing with his faith and his religion and his heritage and the whole 9 yards. And then the city officials kind of wanted to change things around. And there was some serious consideration going on his head, going whether or not he really still wanted to go through with it or he wanted to pull the plug. And it sounds, like I said, it sounds a little silly, but to him, it's a big thing. And the direction they were going for was not what he had totally wanted, but he didn't want to draw back from a deal and a plan and idea and the ability to share from the township. And then everything went sideways. And yeah, it was just, it kind of just went downhill from there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Decider, did I ask you yet? I forget.
You did, but nice of you to come back.
All right, next question. All right, Draconics. What was the biggest mistake everybody made together as a party?
Oof.
Oh shit! Like, where do we start?
You, Mihaly. See previous answer.
Yeah.
No, if you guys have a different one, that's perfectly cool too. So,
I think how we barring the dragon conversation, because in the moment I thought that was the right decision, so I won't classify that as a mistake necessarily. It turned out okay. But
Did it? Did it really?
and yeah, it did.
Homie, Mode's dead.
Okay-ish. It turned out
Having
okay-ish.
Madame Avashti lose her sight, I felt like that was a very, very big thing in the moment. And I felt like we really fucked up and didn't know how or why. And whether that was like just kind of like a flippant thing that you're just like, well, here you go. And you fucked.
I mean,
I don't know whether that was like a spur of the moment decision, but it did really feel heavy in the moment as a player.
okay. Let's go with Decider.
Oh, I'm not ready yet.
Idabrix.
I was gonna say I actually have one for this.
All right, let's go.
Every single time we forgot something for the side quest for Heron's Hands.
Okay.
Every single one, because like
So
I said
20
before,
different moments.
it was like, yeah, I mean, we had a list that was like, I don't know, 13, 14 things long.
Yeah.
And it was almost every time that something happened, it would be like, oh, like the next week I'd send a message in the group chat, like while we were typing up notes, and we forgot to blah, 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 get whatever it was that we needed.
XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it wasn't until I was reviewing the notes going, oh, shit, that was a ghast. That was this. That was a,
right.
paladin shield. It was like, oh, man. And then, of course, we hit the end of last week, and I'm like, all we need now is like these two things, and Heron's gone. Okay.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. I love that from Moulin Rouge. I love that.
Love is all you need.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm a huge
I
Moulin Rouge
was made for loving you, baby. I love it.
So I have one if I can interrupt it a little bit.
Sure. Was it?
This one's blazingly hot, no pun intended. So when we first got invited into the catacombs with the 4 dead kings of the town, or the 4 governors or mayors or whatever they were, I immediately assumed that the catacombs were all hewn stone or set stone or like cobblestone. I didn't realize that the roof was wood.
Yeah.
So like I was gonna be like, all right, cool. The movies always say that, the good guys don't look at explosions. Well, we're in fantasy time, so the good guys don't look at fire, right? So like I had this whole thing planned out. We stack up the bodies, we throw oil on them, we torch them, and then we all turn around and walk out of the catacombs looking all badass, and Gunnar just nods and goes, and that's why we burn our dead, baby.
Not to turn around and see the whole building going up. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke him if you got him.
Who wants s'mores?
Meanwhile, the wood ceiling above us is burning, and Gunnar's like, well, that happened.
Oh boy.
Decider. I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Go.
So when we, gosh, I don't know how to explain it. Getting our horses stolen. That was the one.
How was that a bad decision?
That was fun.
Oh,
Well,
because you
because
guys left them out there. Yeah.
We left them out there, and we all decided to show mercy to all these. Like, we're usually not the mercy type, but we were like, you know what? These guys who tried to attack us, they seem like they're good people. Let's let them loose. Hey, these people down here, let's let them loose. Hey, where'd our horses go? And yeah,
It wasn't them.
kind of learned a lesson. It wasn't them. Who took the horses?
The dragon needed a snack.
When did we get ice cream?
I want those
Come
tieflings to
on.
make a reappearance. Those 2 fellas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd
they
love
were
to
pretty
just
cool.
like random encounter, come into them in the woods, and maybe have them join us for a night or something.
They're hat
Speaking of-
makers now.
Speaking of something that's
my
been
God. Then I recruit them full time.
something I do want to see again and learn a little bit more about is way back in the first season when we had our little like illusionary experience in the woods. That lady that got away.
never came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pictures were awesome.
That could be fun. Illusion's
I've been
fun.
waiting for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question. What was your favorite? Wait. I'm jumping around here. Kwame asks, question, does detect magic ever tell you what type of magic you have detected? It won't tell you a specific spell, but if you concentrate enough and you use a knowledge arcana skill, you can determine what school of magic it is. So, let's see. Draconics, another question. What was your favorite moment in the campaign and why was it your favorite moment? Who wants to jump at it?
Oh, I got one. Sitting around the fire and just kind of shooting the shit with the other characters was really fun.
Oh, that
I
just
think
like
we need a little bit more of that.
Spontaneous roleplay?
Yep. What I'm like, we've spent a year together, a lot of our characters are still shrouded in some mystery, and I look forward to learning more about them. There's so many silly things in Mihaly's past that I would love to get out there, but just
You gotta wait for the right time.
Force it. I want it to be organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll come to it, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and it offered some interesting narrative opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise had.
Anybody else?
Favorite, huh?
God, there's so many.
I like to be a little silly, and I like to add a little comic relief in. So things like Naked Man Hugs and the chair test and Idabrix and all this other kind of stuff. I really enjoy doing, and I enjoy bringing a sense of levity when I play, because for a long period of time, I took gaming very seriously and very, you had to be in character and you had to do what you stuck to. And an old friend of mine who was an experienced player, much older than me and wiser than me, sat me down one day and goes, "Are you actually enjoying this? Are you having fun?" I really thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Every once in a while, you got to have a little bit of fun. So as much as I liked all those, and like the crotch punch and the chair test and everything, and all that stuff, I think it was more of a serious moment, kind of drawing back on it, which is when Gunnar sat with Idabrix and went over his story. Only because I spent so much time writing it. When the character was first thought up, I sat to Mike and I was like, "How involved can I go?" And he was like, "Dude, go nuts, have fun." And I sent him like, I think it was like a 2.5-page background or something like that on Gunnar. And the fact that I got to incorporate that more into the stream and the story, I think is really kind of wicked. And now that, a lot, like 90% of his stories out there, it really kind of makes me smile.
Nice.
I've got a pretty easy one. And I think any player of D&D or Pathfinder, any kind of role play game will agree with me on this. It's always one of the funnest moments for me. Anytime you land a crit, it's exciting.
It is an exciting feeling, right?
And especially like I one that really remembers for me, like I've gotten pretty lucky when it comes to critical hits, because let's face it, I don't melee well, and I feel like in comparison I've probably had a lot of critical hits. I think it was the end of season 1 when we finally came across like one of the big baddies, and I walked right up to her in the face. Like I walked right up to her face and I said, "Let's do this," and I got a critical hit right off the start of the battle there.
Right.
That's really exciting.
That
pumps you up.
I mean, it's fun, right? When you see that number 20 come up, and then you like, and then you see the confirm, you're like, oh, is it gonna confirm? Is it gonna confirm? And then it does it. And it's like, it is a wonderful feeling. It's a super fun feeling. On the same token,
always exciting.
That one is a heartbreaking feeling.
Yeah.
And I love that
also
stuff
hilarious.
Too. I love that stuff too, though, because everybody feels it. Like anybody who knows what that means knows what that means.
Yep. Did everybody answer that one? I'm bad at this.
Mihaly?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Go ahead, Idabrix.
My favorite, I have a few, but one of them answers another question that's coming up, so I'm going to pick a different one. When it was super early on in season 1, when Idabrix stole the hat right off of Amiko's dad's head for Mihaly.
Lonjuko, yep.
Yep,
oh my God.
That was probably one of my favorite moments, because that at that point was when I went, oh shit, she's really stealthy.
You rolled. Did you roll a 20 on that one?
I rolled really high. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was really
20,
high.
But it was
yeah.
really high,
Yep. All right.
Man, that was that was an interesting moment for me too.
All
I
right,
was
then
like, I gotta get her to do this all the time.
get me all the hats. What was your favorite moment, Yachts?
Just sit. Yeah, I already answered with sitting around the campfire.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm
but
bad.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of them, but
Yeah.
I think I would choose that one.
Okay. What was the worst, best creature, monster, villain you encountered? This is Queen Elfie. What was the worst slash best creature, monster, villain you encountered? What one would you not want your character to encounter again?
I got one.
I know. I know which one. There's nothing like I'll never forget that feeling of opening a door and running immediately into a bugbear and just taking one whomp on the head.
Oh
And
god,
going down?
Out.
That was funny. That was
That was
terrible.
I'm scared of bugbears from now on. Like the rest of the team handled it really well after that, but just my initial encounter, I walk up, I open the door, I'm like, "Hello, friend," and then boom, and I'm out.
I think I'm gonna theme the next season Bugbear.
Bugbear?
Bugbears. Okay.
It totally had a callback for me of like El Kabong when I was a little kid. Like that's totally what I thought of.
Oh, that's good times.
Roll up. Chonk. All right, cool. Who's next? Gunner's like, a challenger appears.
Yeah.
All right, who else?
I got one. That extra planar.
Melfeshnikor? Extra
Whatever
planar?
the heck it was.
The demon in the town?
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Melfeshnikor.
That was probably something I would not want to encounter again, but only because basically everything was on me to do something to it.
Yeah.
And I was if you didn't know in chat, like if you guys watching didn't realize, I was down to my last spell when we killed it. And if it had kept going, I wouldn't have been able to do any damage to it, and my party wouldn't have been able to either, as far as I understand. It was like flying and
Teleporting. Not
yeah,
teleporting, it was blinking, but
yeah, that was a very
D-door.
I don't know, that made me
not
realize like,
blinking.
oh shit, there might be things I just can't handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, there are things that you're not going to be able to handle. So Idabrix.
I would say for Idabrix, it was Aldern. That was the hardest fight. That fight actually, thankfully, it ended right when she hit 0 hit points. But that was the first time she had ever gotten close, let alone get to 0 hit points. She'd never been even close to that low before. So, yeah, that would definitely be the most challenging. Enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Decider.
Yeah.
Oh, you did the
I already
bugbear.
answered,
The bugbear.
But, I just wanted to point out Bond Boy pointed out that he'll never forget Davdithas's little black dress. I don't want to talk about that.
Oh my god.
I think we should talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. Let's just move on. It's not part of this question. Let's just keep going.
All right. So Draconics has a question for the DM. Was there ever a moment where you spent hours, days making something hard and it was wiped out in seconds? I'm going to come back. Let me think on that one. I'll come back to that one. For Idabrix, what would you have done if the egg hatched and it was not a dragon?
I would have been like, all right, cool, whatever. Honestly, so for people who don't know, Idabrix's build, she does have a level of Ranger. So she probably would have just been like, all right, and kind of rolled with it and tried to train up whatever it was and be like, all right, well, guess I'm your mom now. So yeah, I think she would be pretty darn sad that it wasn't a dragon, but she'd kind of roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is for everybody. Why did you choose what class you're playing?
That's a fun question.
I'll let everyone else answer before I do.
Can I answer that one? Because I can answer that pretty quickly.
Sure.
So I started with Rogue because when I was approached for doing the project, I went, I want to play a Rogue.
No, what did you say exactly? I wanted to play a halfling rogue.
I'm fucking playing a halfling rogue. No,
Yeah.
no, because that was when everybody thought I was really nice still. So I said I would really like to play a halfling rogue if it's okay with everybody else.
It's true, we did think she was nice.
Yeah.
and then she took a level of fighter right at the end of season 1 when Heron's ship blew up. Because for people who joined us after that happened, so offline we have in our Discord a role play channel that especially in the first season was extremely active, and Idabrix had formed some very, very close friendships and a relationship with another character that his name was Heron, and he had become a essentially an NPC in the storyline. And he was a ship captain, and his ship got blown up during a siege on Sandpoint. And so she had gone out with the boat to try to see if he was still alive. She couldn't find him in the water. At that point, he was essentially presumed dead because nobody knew where he was. And so she took a level of fighter to gain retaliation against the goblins, and she just was kind of, hell bent on it.
Are goblins your favorite enemy?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then with her next level,
Oh my
because
God.
after that,
Nate. 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 Oh my God.
well,
who has 2 thumbs and is still living?
Jesus, Nate. And then after that happened, at her next level, she took a level of ranger because she spent a lot of time with another NPC again in the roleplay channel, training and learning new skills and that kind of thing. And so as such, it made sense for her to take a level of ranger. And so that's where she's at now. She's back to taking rogue levels at this point.
Decider.
Okay.
How did you Decider 12 to play a cleric?
I see what you did there. That was a good one. Anyway, so obviously we need, some kind of healer or something on the team. And I think the question was posed like, who's interested in doing it? And I jumped right on that. I love playing support.
So you decided to do damage instead of healing as a healer?
So yeah, I decided to do that. But I decided to be a cleric, and I really enjoyed the cleric because I also like to kind of be like, in most games I played, I never answered this question earlier. In most games I play, I like to be kind of like a battle mage, or like someone who can stand their own ground toe to toe. Maybe not like excel at it, but stand their own ground and still cast spells and everything. And the cleric, the more I looked into it, really fit that role.
You can definitely do some serious like battle mage cleric. Like it's pretty badass. Yeah.
So
especially if you wear the right armor.
Yep.
Is half plate not the right armor?
No, it's not. Jesus.
Shink.
Oh God, I'm gonna yeet him out a window.
No, he's too heavy and dumb.
I just need leverage. It's okay.
Yeah. That was another reason for wearing the plate. I became too heavy for anyone to get rid of me. As strategic.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
They couldn't find a backpack big enough to carry it.
But yeah, so that was my reasoning. I really enjoy playing a cleric.
Okay. Jack?
I don't know if you remember, Mike, but I had started making the character background, and I had a couple of ideas on what I wanted to do. And Mike actually came to me after I had started already drawing something up, and he goes, "Listen, the character dynamic shifted a little bit. How would you feel about doing X, Y, and Z? Some people want to play some other things. Do you think you could kind of fill a slot?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." So I changed around my character class a little bit, and I was going to do a main tank, like DPS style split. And I've been playing for some odd years, and I never look at a character creation as like a one class. I always kind of like multi-class for like what I want to make a character what it is. So that's pretty much what happened. And I was like, yeah, I can make this fit. Let's see if we can shuffle this here and do this here and play a little bit with the numbers here. And one thing came to another, and Gunnar filled the role, and we had some fun with him.
Awesome. Scott.
On that same note, I'm sure that maybe a few you guys know out there, but there was originally another person as part of the cast, a fifth cast member, who was a wizard. So Mihaly originally, with a totally different backstory, was a dual sword fighter.
Yep.
And like a pit scrapper type of person, right?
We were gonna roll in shoulder to shoulder together. I remember we were talking about that.
The first test session we did, Gunnar was blocking shots, and Mihaly, who was designed taller and perhaps a bit more muscular and less useless, went in with two swords, and that was maybe even the moment that I was like, "Holy fuck, D&D's amazing." The way that the dice went, because you guys were trying to explain to me, no, like you could be pretty powerful in combat and whatever, and we were fighting. I don't even remember, but you know there was like the castle with the big gate, and it opened up, and we went out and fought, and something was there like attacking the party, and I rolled like a 20 and then confirmed it, and it was like the way that you described it, Mike. You're like like spin around with both your swords and like chop this guy's head clean off, and it was like.
This is amazing.
And then before the next session, he was like, "Yeah, so our wizard dropped. How do you feel about being a spellcaster?" I was like, well, 5 pages of backstory. Let's get rid of those. But I'm actually way more happy with the way that Mihaly turned out now, because this is a whole lot of fun. But I do occasionally, like, in situations where I'm stuck and want to go back to hand-to-hand combat, I'm like, old Mihaly would be great right now. So I started slashing. But that's it. Yeah, I was asked to fill the role and I did, and I don't regret it. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
I see what you did there. I see it. I see
clever.
it.
That's good.
Alrighty. Next question. You guys ready? You ready for this?
What made you decide to play the role of GM?
I wanted to torment you at every chance I could.
That makes sense.
But just you. The rest of us he likes.
I want to make a comment. I want to make a comment on this and what Mike just said.
Okay.
For those of you that are kind of new to the show, Mike and Decider weren't always like this. We were very friendly and very cordial and very silly and very much fun.
We started working together.
Yeah, we were very much like it was like we were the best friends that anyone could ever have. And then they started like hanging out and actually like meeting up, and they started like busting on each other, and stuff just kind of went south from there.
The best part about this whole dynamic is that I DM for him on Sundays and he DMs me on Wednesdays. So it's like, all right,
what comes around goes around.
All right, I see.
I'm not gonna lie though. One of the things that I love about this is that I explain this group to my friends, my in-person local friends, as playing DM with my 4 idiot brothers.
That's about right.
But there's only three. There's only 3.
I gotta know. Which idiot brother am I?
That one.
See, there's Dopey, there's Sleepy.
Dopey was one.
It's just, and I say it like with every ounce of love in me, because it's just so much fun, like, because we all rag on each other like siblings, and like it just cracks me up. And so I'm like, yeah, it's time to play D&D with my 4 idiot brothers,
I like that. That's
you're like my 4 brothers that I never had. I have a younger sister, so
there you go.
Awesome. Let's see. Axel Rain. Proudest moment and least proudest moment. Yeah, Yachts.
Same answer for both. Fighting the dragon.
You did. You initiated that.
I thought that I condemned our party to a certain death, but at the end, it quickly became my proudest moment.
You did do the most damage on that fight.
Finishing it.
Davdithas.
Oh boy. Let's see here.
Your proudest moment is almost dying to the spreaded mead.
Yeah, no.
What was that girl with the rats in the basement?
That was gonna be my least
Season
proudest
one.
moment.
Season wine. That's season wine.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
still,
They
it's
just
been
they
so
didn't
many.
specify.
it started there because it gained a reputation for me not being able to finish, and then
That's pretty hilarious.
it's still ongoing. Like it's still going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nate's already made that joke like 5 times in chat today.
Today
I think
alone.
so.
Yeah.
Probably.
So yes,
Still-
goes
Hey,
Ken.
there's
There's
another
it.
there it is
one.
again. So like it started there. So it's the least proudest moment that was started in season 1. It's still ongoing today. One of my proudest moments was when we got into the field, and zombies everywhere like attacking us, and ghouls and gas just coming at us.
It
And
was a
all of a
cool
sudden,
scene, yeah.
I'm like, it's my time to shine. I'm like, hide from undead, hide from undead.
That was very well
Channel
played.
energy.
There's the spark.
Burning everyone. Like I'm just like I went like beast mode in there. I felt so powerful, and I was like, I am finally useful to the team. They see my worth.
That was so great for me because I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then I'm
Yeah.
like reading the spell, and I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna attack. Somebody's gonna attack.
Yeah,
And then
well,
somebody attacked, and I forget. Yeah,
inevitably,
Idabrix did.
yeah.
And then,
Inevitably that moment was gonna
Which was
come.
my proudest moment. I'll explain that in a second.
hey, Blue, it's good to see you.
Hey,
Uh,
Lou.
Holy shit, blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah. So when that was like such a cool scene because you're like hide undead, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like in my mind, I'm like, who's gonna mess this up? And then Bruce messed it up.
It was time. It was fine.
Yeah, we sprung the trap. It's okay. Totally
Sure.
legit.
Yeah.
Next, who else? Who's got one for me?
So my proudest moment, speaking of hiding undead, if we have to go with something from season 2, was right after Decider cast Hide from Undead. Idabrix came charging out of the barn and crit one of the undead.
Took his head off, if I
And
remember right.
Literally knocked its head off like a freaking baseball. And yeah, it was pretty impressive. She came out natural 20, and
That was an
Yeah.
opener. That was an opener for sure.
I mean, if you're gonna stop hiding from undead, that's the way to do it.
All right.
Yeah, I can't think of a better way.
What's your
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
proudest moment then?
Staying in Sandpoint. No.
Oh.
Hey.
I don't know if there's a least proudest moment. I guess probably I would have to say reminding Gunnar to burn the dead in the catacombs, but I think I made a similar mistake thinking that we were in a stone structure.
Yeah.
Not realizing that the whole building would catch on fire. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was a big misconception on us as players.
yeah, exactly. So
what
I'll say that was probably my biggest mistake.
All
or
right.
least proudest moment.
Did anybody not go yet? Gunnar, let's get it.
So this doesn't happen often, but we all know Gunnar isn't the brightest crayon in the tool shed, if you catch my drift. And he
The
considers
sharpest tool in the drawer.
yeah, exactly. The sharpest light bulb in the crayon box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
So no problem. So proudest moment and least proudest moment. My proudest moment was when Davdithas convinced Gunnar that the water was haunted and like actually like made him made him believe
so
it
funny.
and like proved it, and like Gunnar went like off the hinges like, oh my god, everything I know is not real.
That was
This is
You guys
insane.
gave me so much shit for the
And-
little like mean joke.
And like
Well,
Gunnar
I thought he was our friend. He would
Yeah.
never do that.
So Gunnar finally believes it, and we find out all this stuff about on the bridge and in the fountain, and like Father Xanthus is looking at the two of them like, all right, Gunnar's normally pretty level-headed, what the hell? And Davdithas is just Davdithas, and all of a sudden the fucking pardon my language, the fountain comes alive. And the two of us are sitting there like beating on water, going, "Do it, you die!" And that was like a huge thing for Gunnar.
That was a fun time.
A low,
Classic
an
moment.
absolute low was when Gunnar had a misconception of the fact that that his family, everybody that he left behind, his family had now become these 3 adventurers, and they were lying to him, and they were trying to betray his trust and not They didn't have his best interest or the greater good in mind, and it totally destroyed him. And it obviously wasn't 100% true, but it shattered Gunnar on the inside.
All right.
Poor Gunnar. That makes me feel so sad.
If you could, from Queen Elfie, if you could change one decision your character made, what would it be? I'm looking right at you. You know who I'm looking at.
No, I don't, because we can't see you.
Yeah,
but
we
you
can't see it.
can't
We have
feel
no
it?
idea.
You can't feel it?
Oh, well, it's yachts.
Yes, it's yachts.
I was trying to remain straight faced. I had my poker face on. I didn't want to allude to the fact that perhaps I messed something up.
You never mess anything up.
No regrets. I wouldn't change a thing.
Awesome. Loved it. Love that
I know
answer.
that's difficult, but you have to own your decisions.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I mean, if this was a TPK wrap up, then obviously I'd have a good answer for you. But
What if your character is in fact
no.
actually died and it's just an illusion?
Well, it's cool. We keep playing, so
So lost?
Spoilers.
That would be such a fun campaign to play. Let's just put it on the board for later.
All right.
Island survival
pin that one up
campaign would be
later.
a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Like,
Yeah,
you all
right.
just randomly wash up on the shore,
Like
you have to meet
Turok.
each other, make camp.
Like dinosaurs
like-
and shit.
Like
Oh my God,
Turok
Turok.
Dinosaur.
Yes,
Oh my God,
dinosaurs.
yeah. Oh my
That'd
God,
be
yeah.
fantastic.
I have a question
wanted
for you
that one
guys
too.
after this question. Okay.
All right.
All right. Idabrix, what was one decision you would change?
You know, I was thinking about that because I saw that question come in too. I don't know that in the actual stream campaign I would change anything. I
You guys
am
are
a
cop
believer.
outs.
I know. No, I'm a believer that
I have a better
her-
way to phrase this question.
her choices have made her who she is, and as such, you know, like Yacht says, no regrets.
It's no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. Hashtag no regrets. But if I were to take some of that into the role play channel, I think that to stay a little more true to who Idabrix is, I don't think she would have formed as tight of bonds with people that she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you could change one question that another party member made.
Oh, that's a
that is
good
my
question. Let's see. Well, hold on. Decider. Let's decide to do Jack,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, you're
I get a question. I lost it. I forgot what my question was.
Honestly can't think. I mean, as we all know, Decider is quite infallible in his decision making.
Oof.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. No, I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, there certainly was a change in his personality this season. I remember he decided to stop drinking so much.
He decided.
Yeah, he decided.
I was gonna say I think Amico made that decision for him.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd say there was some bad drinking times. So you know, he changed his demeanor after that. But
The Sprite of Mead thing where you almost died, but did you die?
yeah,
But did you
the
die?
Sprite of Mead. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have gone so hard on that. But that's all I got really.
Cyclone Jack.
I got to play the cop out card in this one. I've always tried to stay true to Gunnar and who he is as a character and a personality and, you know, his background. And I got to say, if I changed anything, it wouldn't be him.
Okay. All right. So this is my question. Before we get into the next question, if you give me another setting that you would love to play in, like whatever fandom it be, whatever world, whatever thing, give me one that you would like to play in.
There's so many.
And I've actually had the pleasure of playing in most of them that I was actually interested in, which says a lot considering I haven't played much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've played Pathfinder, I've played Starfinder, and I've played BattleTech.
Yeah, but
And I mean,
oh, okay. I guess you could, you know what I mean? But I'm saying like if like Star Wars or you know what I mean? Like
yeah. But like, you know, like I love Star Trek, and you know what? Starfinder kind of scratches that itch for me.
Okay.
I love giant mechs and like the whole robot kind of thing, and BattleTech itch that. I love classical, like, magical swords and shields and stuff like that. And Pathfinder hits that. Like, I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my mind that I'm missing,
Gotcha. This is a question for the community too. If you guys enjoy TTRPG worlds, like I would love to hear from the community on worlds that you would love to play in.
I got one.
Okay.
Post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Like Fallout 4?
Kind of. I mean, me and Candleus talked about this for a while one night. We just started like writing like this backstory for this land and how it worked. And like you've got your religious cults, like, new religion like popping up out of the ground, and then they're trying to maybe take power, but then there's like raiding parties and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And your party has to kind of navigate through it. And then because it's post-apocalyptic, a lot of creative solutions in crafting might come in hand.
Yep.
Tying a knife to a stick and lighting it on fire. Like silly things like that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Okay. Idabrix.
If I start digging back through, like, just, like you said, Star Wars or things like that, digging through various IPs that I would be interested in playing as a setting, I think of, like, I really liked the show Firefly, so that would be really fun to do something like Firefly. You've brought up the idea of a Harry Potter campaign, which I think would be a lot of fun. But digging way back into sort of my more nerdy roots, I would love to play like a Goonies theme campaign.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how many people remember the show Earth 2 from it was on in like the early to mid 90s. And Sequest. If I could dig those up, that would be a lot of fun for me, because that would hit some nostalgia for me big time.
Yep.
So yeah.
Decider.
We already did me.
No, but I want to hear yours, Decider.
Jack.
I've had the privilege of playing in a lot of different systems and a lot of different settings. So I've scratched a tons of different itches and played a bunch of different characters and settings and the whole 9 yards. I'd have to say that I love D&D and I love the fantasy setting. So tied across the board would have to be either Temple of Elemental Evil or Ravenloft.
Okay.
And last but not least, like still jumbled right in there, I haven't done a lot of it, and every time I have done it, I've loved it, is a pulp noir setting with like a supernatural splash.
Okay.
So like,
yeah, I could see you doing that.
I can play, like the private dick, home from like World War II, and all of a sudden this, this weird stuff starts going down in the streets and stuff starts happening. And
Harry Dresden.
Yeah, exactly. Dresden and like the pulp noir setting.
Yeah,
like 100%. Like that's it for me. Those three right there.
For me,
another one.
For me, it like, so there's a lot I'm gonna go through. I'd love to play. Surprisingly, I really want to play in a Buffy playing a setting like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I would love to play in that world. I think it would, the potential there is a lot of fun, and I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan. Star Wars, obviously, Doctor Who, Firefly. Firefly is one of my big ones. Like space opera is just so much fun.
Preacher, brother.
Yeah.
But like Luna hit on a good one, Goonies. Like I think the potential to, like some kind of like teenage, like underground, like, it's us against them, like that kind of thing would be great. I mean, I do have the pleasure of playing in 2 fantasy games and a cyberpunk game. But there's so many fandoms. I think about fandoms and I'm like, Harry Potter, I'd love to play in that. I'd like to dip my toes in there. Everything. There's so much fun stuff out there. I couldn't decide on like my top 5. You know what I mean? Like it's just too much to ask. There's so many fun settings. And like you can adapt like so many different systems to them. So
I thought of another one too while we were just talking, and I mentioned it I think before we went live. I rewatched Ready Player One over the weekend,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite books and favorite movies. And I think that I've always had sort of a thing for, you know, sort of dystopian fiction. And you know, I think a setting like that would really hit on a lot of different things that I would be interested in, because you get not really cyberpunk, but you get kind of the tech piece of that from, you know, being in the Oasis, and then you get the dystopian piece from the kind of the real world,
Yeah.
so to speak. And um yeah, I think that would be a really fun setting to be in as well.
I thought of one that I would love to play in. Like, and I'm surprised I didn't think of it a couple of minutes ago, but like one of my forefronts that I would love to play in is like an underworld type world with the Lycans versus vampires. Like I would love that. Love that. Yeah.
World of Darkness for the win, my man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
Which is now available on Fantasy Grounds. Just saying.
We own it. We own it
I
as
know.
Highway
We what?
Nerds. Yep, we definitely own it. So
Cough, one shot, cough.
but yeah, I'm a huge vampire fan. I love like that classic show. So Ravenloft would definitely do it for me as well. That would be a really fun campaign to play in. So I've been racking my brain about the party one, like shortcutting around one of the mechanics that I put in, and I feel like they didn't exactly like run through it, but I feel like they got through the illusion quicker than I would have liked to seen. I pictured that in my head going for like 2 or 3 days, and them finally realizing that they were waking up and it was night every single time. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be they were going to be in there a lot longer. And that question came in from Draconics. I believe, let me double check. Yep, Draconics asked that question, but I thought they were going to be, and that was in season 1, but I really thought you guys were going to be in there much longer. So but you guys did well. So
Occasionally we have our moments.
oh, Cthulhu? Yeah, like Call of Cthulhu Violent Blue. Yeah, that would be like a Lovecraftian. That'd be awesome too. I mean, I may like Cthulhu. I'm just saying.
Maybe. Just a little bit.
Maybe a
Yeah,
little.
Little.
Yeah. Have you guys accepted your
bit.
Lord and Savior as Cthulhu? So guys, I think we're gonna wrap up here in a couple minutes. But if anybody else has any questions for the cast about the character or myself about what I was thinking during the whole season, I'd love to hear your questions. Otherwise, we are gonna give away that spell tracker in a minute here. And we'll give it a couple more minutes, but I'd like to hear some final thoughts from the cast on what they thought about this season, stuff like that. Let's go with Yachts.
I don't know.
Well said.
Idabrix.
Yeah, me too. No, final thoughts. Drink your milk, don't talk to strangers, and no. Honestly, you know, I think that this has just been you know, I mean, it's been a really fun season. It was a really frustrating season, in the sense of the story, not in, you know, working with everybody, because that's always been great. And you know, the storyline was super frustrating, but I think, you know, I think it was just a really fun season, and I think we ended on a pretty good note, especially because I feel like we all felt that everything that happened in Misgivings in Foxglove Manor, like every time we wrapped up an episode in there, we were all like, that was so great, oh my god, you know. So that was kind of a nice way to come out of the season, was all of us feeling like those particular episodes went really well.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Decider.
Yeah, no, it was a really fun season as always. I really enjoyed watching our characters develop and grow. I feel like we really started to fight as a team and everything. You know, we kind of understood how everyone would react to certain situations. And I guess it's just been a really good like bonding experience. So whether you want to look at it from the point of us playing our characters or us just being, you know, the people we are playing D&D every night, you know, it's I wouldn't have changed any of it. So,
Jack.
thank you.
So I don't know if you guys could tell, but I'm kind of the long-winded one. And in typical Jack fashion, I've kind of got a long-winded answer. Final thoughts. Thank you to the community for being here and supporting us, for loving us and having fun and enjoying us and coming along on all these crazy adventures. I've known Yachts and Mike for a bit within the MechWarrior community, and I was always, and this is going to sound silly, I was always a big fanboy of the two of them. They were always the cool kids, and I always wanted to hang out with them and shoot the shit. And then I got to meet, two excellent people in Decider and Luna, and it has been some of the coolest, most wonderful things I've ever had the chance of doing. I've made such deep friendships with these four and with so many members of the community who I randomly get messages and talk to and hang out with during the day, and it I'm not gonna cry, but just thank y'all for everything that y'all do, and thank you for having me on the show, Mike, and thank you guys for an amazing time.
Excellent. For me, I'm gonna let's do the spell tracker, and I want to leave you guys with a final thought. Okay, if that's cool.
Always a cliffhanger.
Always a cliffhanger.
You have to be here to win, just FYI.
You have to be here to win. You have to be a follower of the channel. It's basic. Basic.
And if you don't know what a spell tracker is and you didn't enter because you don't know what it is, I did just drop a link in chat so you can see what they are.
Yeah.
Also,
super cool.
Also, if you're upset about the having to be here to win part right now, well, you probably are. You'd have to be here right now to hear that part. So, like, you're kind of here already.
They could go back
You're
and
good.
watch the VOD and be mad about it.
I guess. In
It's
which
true.
case, I'm so
Or
sorry
they
for
decide to
you.
not speak up in chat.
Can we put their name in over my mouth and post the person who didn't show up when they win it? Like, I'm so sorry that you weren't here. Maybe you should attend next time. All right, there we go. That'll be good.
All right, 15 second. I'm closing entries. Closing entries.
Didn't even finish the song.
Oh.
All right. All right. Let's pick a winner. And you have to be a follower of the channel. If you're not, then you're not going to win.
I better follow.
Optimus Prime Morgan.
Hey.
Optimus.
There we go.
Awesome.
We're going to need Optimus. We
Congrats.
need you to oh, there he is. There he is. We will super rigged. Super rigged, Cawthon.
Optimus, connect with me and we'll make sure that gets ordered for you.
All right, let's see. I want to see if any of the stream team's on, and because I want to leave you guys with a final thought. Because I'm a jerk. Let's see who's on from our stream team. Sham Basil Games is on. Is he playing or is he doing?
No, he's doing a rerun.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at the let's look in the D&D thing and see who's playing. Let's see.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He and his wife are playing The Last of Us 2.
You know what? We're gonna go show him some love. Let's do it.
It looks like a rerun.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
Yep. It says rerun on the.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
opened the stream there. Yep.
Thank you.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
If you haven't watched him and his wife play together, though, you should because it's hilarious.
I'm just looking to see who we should go show some love to, guys. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna pick people out. Let's pick a smaller one. Let's do a smaller channel and be nice to somebody, and we'll show them some love. These guys.
Okay.
There we go. These guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna kick off this raid, and let's see, raid channel. You guys know the deal. When you get over there, if you're a subscriber, show them some love. If you're new here tonight, please join us in Discord. We have a great Discord community, and there's a bunch of rad people in there who are very supportive. If you have questions about TTRPGs, there's a lot of really, really, really good, cool people in there, and yachts. So we can I got to spread it around a little bit.
There too.
I got to spread it around a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna kick off this raid. And we're going to go over to the ending screen before I leave you guys with my final thoughts for the season. So let's go to the ending screen real quick. And I'm going to mute the cast. All right, guys, my name is Mike. This is the How I Nerd channel, and we do TTRPG content over here on the How I Nerd channel. Every Sunday night, we have our flagship show, Tabletop Tavern 1. Monday nights is our Savage World, a cyberpunk adventure set in Boston, Massachusetts. Every Wednesday, we have Tabletop Tavern 2, which is run by Decider 12. It's a high fantasy game, and every Thursday, we have Tales from the Tavern, which is a roundtable discussion led by Luna. I'm surprised nobody brought this up, but I wonder what's going to go happen with that cat. We'll talk to you guys next week.